And then it's like the little
Hey, Craig,
ceremonies.
almost forgot you, bud.
We're in.
Okay, so our sanctuary investigators were sent to the dig site of May Gladly, who had recently unearthed a pretty substantial ruin of the ancients that may hold some potential secrets for a item that was stolen from the sanctuary, a very dangerous item called Mordital's Ampule that has the possibility of uh, causing fairly widespread destruction. Uh, when getting to the dig, they were not teleported in immediately because their teleporter was incompetent and doesn't like to listen. And so they had to hike in where they met May and her assistant Sinner, who Isle had a bit of a history with, as well as a new addition to the team, Kitsune, who is a little rascal who may have insight into Fish's backstory and where their powers originate from. Uh, while entering the ruin, Fish and Kitsune unlocked a sealed door and entered the ruin proper. You also found out that Kitsune had the ability to turn himself invisible as well as create illusory duplicates of himself. So that's fun, the little scamp. But you managed to slam and seal the door in his face so that he couldn't get in here with you, and you started to explore the ruin proper. After avoiding a security measure at the entrance of the ruin that seemed to identify Caligulus as a servant of the Faceless before she removed her veil and put on some big aviators, um, you got deeper into the facility and found a interesting sort of large room with skeletons that seems to have been touched or corrupted by the faceless ones in some way. Some sort of maybe research lab, something like that, as well as a number of standing ranks of armor that were at the peripheries. As you went deeper into the room, you found that in the back was a large non-human skeleton creature that seemed to be housing or a cage for some sort of entity. Not really sure what it is, but the entity spoke to some of you. I should clarify that the entity spoke in kind of like a verbalization of symbols, kind of a universal language. So even though it was very rough around the edges, you didn't hear it in English. You actually heard it in every language you speak and understand at the same time. Um, and in trying to negotiate with this entity, it seemed that the entity was sealed in these bones and wanted freedom or severing, as Caligulus offered, and seemed to grow rather upset when you tried to leave and have this discussion another day without freeing it. Um, this entity is also, as I said, sealed in this large skeleton, which is covered in symbols that seem to bind it to there, as well as a ring of symbols around it that sort of contain the skeleton itself. And from where the skeleton's back meets the wall, there is a series of carved symbol channels flaring out into the larger room that seem to be somehow involved in the power or security or things like that of running this place. Um, and with finding that you were not going to free this entity at this moment, even when it offered May knowledge of the facility and tried to entice Cal, but really didn't get enough of a read to offer her anything she wanted. The entity, which seemed to be controlling the sort of animated armor in this room, send one of its bodies over to slam the door behind you and seal it. Yes, I don't know if anyone else know this. I don't use it. There is a little dice roller as part of the Albert Rodeo. Yeah, you're Ellie, you're muted.
Sorry, I didn't realize you guys could see that.
Yeah. Um, you're muted too.
It's to prevent cheating.
Sorry. Yeah, I was like, so we can hold you accountable. Vienna, you can do it too, so we can stop seeing you roll 27.
I would give you the screenshots if you wanted.
I
I
believe
want her to
Vienna.
roll that.
I believe
you too. You wouldn't fake rolling well because you were like, oh no, this means I have to do something.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm. And so with this creature demanding to be freed, it has sealed the doors and sent its creatures after you. You have all rolled initiative. We have Sinner up first with May on deck. Let's get into it.
Patrick told me about this.
And we begin with Sinner Drum.
Oh, it slays.
As well as the armor coming alive and stepping out from the walls and coming towards you. You also see some racks of weapons that start to, one by one, come off the racks and start slowly spinning around each other in the air as it becomes sort of little whirlwinds of blades. And so Sinner is going to turn to May. He's already got his knuckles up, and he goes, "Boss, permission to break some artifacts."
May looks very put upon, but sighs and acceptance and goes, "Do what you need to do."
All right. He goes, like Dragon Ball Z power up. And you see, Sinner has always been kind of muscular. You actually watch his muscles kind of swell into grotesqueness, like bodybuilder muscular all of a sudden. Like, he gets much larger all of a sudden as he channels his magic into his muscles. And then he is going to charge and start swinging. Sinner has a movement speed of 45. So he is going to get all the way to this armor here and start taking his attacks. He does not get taller. He has a separate power that makes him taller. All right, he's gonna come in, make 2 attacks. That is 2 hits. Let's roll damage on these. Gotta get out my calculator because he rolls a lot of dice. All right. Christ. Okay. Shit. All right. Sinner growls, charges at these things, and as he's coming in, gets a little bit low. Boom! Big hook. Boom! Second big hook up into the where the floating ribs would be, and you see his fist go like all the way into the armor, basically crumpling the armor all the way up into the chest cavity as this animated Armor 9 is almost killed in a single round.
I knew you were worried for a reason.
Yeah. This is what he's good at. And then he is going to use the rest of his movement to get here, so he's sort of more centrally located. Yeah, cool. That is his turn. It is May's turn with Isle on deck.
Alright, so May's going to actually take a second because she's not a berserker lunatic.
Yep.
She's going to look at the stream of symbols that are going from the skeleton creature up into the wall. Can I roll for a symbol check to see if I can figure out which one is connecting the skeleton, like, to be able to control everything?
Yeah, give me... Yes, I will say an Arcana check will give you, like, a bunch about the symbols in general, and a symbol check will give you more specific information. Yeah.
Okay, can I do both, or is that like a one?
Just pick one. Whichever
Okay,
one you want.
I'll do a symbol check.
Yep.
It's 11. Just check. Wisdom, isn't it? Wait, sorry, is it Arcana still that I add to this one, Patrick?
If it's Arcana, you add your Arcana. If you're doing simple check, you just add +3.
Okay, cool. Yep, so 14.
Okay. With a 14, you actually see that these are kind of like power conduits in parallel. So they are all seeming to be sending kind of energy and commands through them. You don't notice that any one specifically is too different from the others, but you do see that like the amount of energy flowing through them has increased dramatically as these kind of things have come online. You can start to see kind of as time has worn these symbols, little imperfections in the symbols. You can see little like sparks of magic flying off as they're like kind of overwhelmed a little bit, bringing all of these guys online and getting them out of there. Okay, that was a free action. You've got movement action and if you want bonus action if you have it.
I don't have bonus action. Am I able to use my gun?
Yeah.
Yeah,
who would you be shooting at?
I'm going to shoot one of the power conduits.
One of the power conduits? You got it.
Yeah.
With your kind of background in archaeology, I will give you for free that because these are, stone, they are decently kind of, they're not too hard to hit, but it's really hard to kind of fracture stone and break it apart with kind of, you can't like chip away at it too much really. So these symbols have what is called a damage threshold. Essentially, you need to do at least 10 damage on a single attack in order to do any damage. If you do 11 damage, it does 11 damage. If it does 9 damage, it does nothing.
So I really need to do a 3 route stand back here. And pummel the wall into a fucking crisp.
You can absolutely get over 10 damage with a gunshot if you want.
Yeah, I just gotta roll, right?
Yeah, let's see.
Yeah, okay, let me have a crack. D8 +3 +7 to hit, so let's have a crack.
Yeah, so
11!
roll... was that an 11 to hit or 11 damage?
11 damage, so 8 +3.
Okay, yeah. Then you need to give me your shot to hit. So roll a d20 and add 7.
Yep. 9.
9. Did you roll a natural 2?
Yeah.
You you whip out your revolver. Tell me what it looks like as you whip out your revolver and shoot into the wall, but kind of miss
it looks
anything
sick
important.
as shit. She like immediately like quick draws, old school like cowboy style, and without like even the slightest hesitation, shoots one of the power conduits. Doesn't even have to aim. She's just that confident.
And unfortunately manages to get it to the into the wall, missing kind of any important symbols, just kind of blasting in. Ink, for your question, Connie's gun broke on a 1 or 2. May has a different gun. May has a revolver, which I think only breaks on 1s. but I will double check.
Am I able to call out to Cinna at all?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, cool. May like turns around, see that Cinna is squaring up with the storm of knives, presumably to like shatter them into dust, and like yells across the field, like, Cinna, I need you over here. Then yeah, end turn.
Just a second, boss. You got it. He just kind of like raises a hand behind him. Yes, your revolver only fails when you roll a natural 1. Okay. He just raises a hand to like acknowledge that he heard you, and he's hopefully gonna fight his way backwards. That you still have movement left. That was your action, so you can kind of move around, get to someone else. You've kind of done
Gonna stay where I am for now.
Absolutely, yeah. And that brings us to Isle's turn with Cal on deck.
All right.
Oh wait, no, that's
Has-
not true.
I
Sorry.
dare
was
say
like,
I'm
That's
up
I'm
here.
not
pretty sure
true.
I'm last. I did
No, you are
roll
not.
well.
You are not last because everybody rolled like crap, including the bad guys. It is actually
Oh.
Metal's turn with Isle on deck.
Oh, because she had
Yes.
higher decks.
Yes.
Also being back to me now.
Okay. So, I think Metal is basically just like scared out of her mind. It's like, not to say that none of us have ever seen something like this, but she really hasn't. With the Ghost Eater, the slugs, this is really just taking the cake. She lived in society, okay? She didn't expect to be seeing skeleton gods or whatever the hell. So, I think she's gonna. So, where? Hold on. Who is this? Where animated armor 1 is? That's the door that we came in?
That's the door you came in. That door is
It's shut.
sealed. Yeah, it is shut. Give me a perception or arcana check.
Okay. Oh, you know what? I have the advantage on perception because this is whatever it's called.
A natural environment.
Yeah.
We're now kind of deeper in the ruins. I will give it to you this time. I will say. I will
I
say
guess
if we
the
get too
cave.
much, if we get too much deeper, it's not going to be like a cave anymore.
Fair. Okay. Well, great. I'll take it this time. That's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. You see that as the door sealed, there were actually kind of these big locking bars that you can only see from the inside that swung out and lock it, and there is a very faint kind of sheen to it, maybe as if it was also magically sealed. Not that you can't get through it, but that it will take, you will have to like do something to actually get out of it. You can't just swing through and open the door.
For sure. I think her plan is to go over there and see if she can do anything about it. So, I would like to run over there as far as I can run, and then I want to get animated armor guy with what should I do? With Earth Ripple. I want to do the version where he gets slammed 5 feet in a direction by a wave of earth and gets 2d8 bludgeoning damage and is knocked prone.
Okay, is that a saving throw for him?
It doesn't say so. Oh wait. Okay, no, there it is. Okay. Dexterity saving throw.
Dexterity saving throw. All right.
He's not dexterous. He's a suit of armor, right, Patrick?
He's okay. I would say you have kind of figured out a little bit of the secret of this fight, which is these guys have really high armor class. Sinner's just an absolute beast, but not great at saving throws.
Slay.
But that is still probably enough. That's a 17.
Damn it.
Really high.
Yeah. Okay.
Does
Well,
he take
shit.
half damage?
It doesn't say anything like that. It just says you cause the earth to deform and ripple, and they must make a dexterity saving throw, or suffer one of the following effects. So I guess not. Well, I hate that for me. Damn. Okay. Well,
Yeah, I can double check that, but yeah, I think it
I don't
doesn't
think so.
do anything, unfortunately.
Okay. Let me just. Okay. Well. I guess
Yeah,
she's
that one
just gonna
unfortunately
run over
doesn't
there.
secondary effects.
Yeah. I was like, can I do anything else? Oh, I have. Well,
You do have a bonus action, I think. You have some bonus action stuff.
I have become wind, which I am considering for later. And then I do have.
You did do a regular spell, so you could only do a cantrip.
Oh yeah. Which
Any
yeah.
good
Okay.
cantrips bonus actions? I don't think so.
No, they're not, which sucks. Okay, well, cool. I'll just run over there and then I'll try to do that and then it won't work and Metal's just gonna be like, shit, and that's all.
Yeah, sad.
Yeah, great. Okay, cool. Okay, I'll turn.
I'll just remind you. Remember that you have your sorcery stuff now.
I do. Yeah, I don't want to use it yet. But
Yep.
yeah.
Just reminding you because it's first battle with it. All right. That is Isle with the armor on deck.
All right. Isle and Sinner have fought together before, so I'm hoping that he won't freak out when she does this. She is going to turn into a wolf. She's wolfing out.
Wolfing out.
Before she runs to Sinner, can I do a quick check to see if she thinks that there's any suits of armor hiding in the darkness?
Actually, for free, just because you saw them as you were approaching, because everybody did.
Yeah.
You know
Yes.
that up here into the this side of the room, there was like ranks of suits of armor.
Okay.
Whether any of those came to life, you don't know. You just know that they are there and they were moving before.
Noted. Sounds good. All right. We are going to just go straight to Sinner. She is going to run, jump off of his back, and go for animated armor 9. Go for the kill on that one.
Okay.
So, because she is within. Listen, man, this dire gray wolf is the most OP motherfucker of all time. Isle's done with the moose. She is living as a wolf moving forward. She has advantage on an attack roll against a creature if at least one of the wolf's allies is within 5 feet. And he's not incapacitated, which I would say he's very capacitated at the moment.
Yeah.
So let's.
Which one are you attacking? Animated armor 9, swarm of axes?
9, the one that she's
Got it.
gonna just try to finish up 9.
Okay, give me your attack roll.
Alright. That is going to be a 23 to hit.
A 23 to hit absolutely hits.
Yeah.
Roll damage.
Awesome. Love that for me. Alright, so that is going to be 2d6 plus 3. I'm assuming these are not considered creatures.
No, these are constructs.
Okay. That's what I thought.
2d6 plus 3, you could not do little enough damage to not destroy this thing. Your
Okay, good,
minimum
'cause I
damage
rolled-
is enough to shatter this.
Good, because I rolled 2 1s plus 3. So, worked out.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, the animated armor 9, you jump off Cinder's back and just kind of land on it as you bring it to the ground, and as soon as it hits the ground under you, it just shatters into like loose pieces of armor. And animated armor 9 is dead. All right. I think how much movement does the
Did Sinner accept a wolf jumping off of him?
he actually he has never give me a insight. He did do it. He absolutely
He let it
helped
happen.
you and was prepped for it. Give me an insight check on Sinner.
15.
With a 15, You don't see any surprise when you turn into a wolf and run at him. So you kind of get the sense that, like, he didn't know you were a shifter. He's probably fought with shifters before. And so he knows, like, all right, get in here, see out of the corner of my eye, a wolf's running at me, brace my back, make a platform. Okay, lift up, and then, yeah,
Normal.
just like almost like you rehearsed it without a hitch.
Has Isle seen him go Super Saiyan?
Probably not.
Okay, cool.
Kind of only a thing when it's like really, really dangerous.
The danger
You can just
zone.
punch people
Yeah.
normally.
Yeah.
All right. What is the movement on Direwolf? Because I think you might have like 5 feet of movement left or something like that.
Yeah, I've got 50 feet.
50 feet? Yeah, you've got. I think. So you're over there. Yeah,
Oh my
you got
God.
like 10. You got like 10 feet of movement left. Do you want to? Where do you want to go? Do you want to back up? Do you want to kind of push in?
I think she'll. Can we push in?
Yeah, you got it. You can
Yeah.
push in as far as here, but that can kind of put you in a danger zone. If you're right here next to center, you're a little more protected because
I'm letting
obviously
him take the hit.
he's a big target.
Cool. Sounds good. Yeah.
All right, that brings us to the armor's turn with Fish on deck. All right.
Better throw them back in the ocean before they suffocate.
These things do not move very far or fast. They just kind of clank towards you. And Fish would be able to see when this armor appears and this armor appears. No one else, I think, would be able to see anything else. Okay.
Party.
And then animated armor 7 is going to swing in and try to throw itself at Sinner. You can see that it is doesn't look like it's trying to hit him in the face, weirdly enough. Let me make some rolls for that. I can almost guarantee this is not going to work out in this thing's favor, but it doesn't know that. That's, let's see. That's that. Yeah, no, not even close. This suit of armor tries to wrap itself around Sinner as if to kind of grab him, and Sinner just like full on no, and just like stiff arms him out of the way and pushes him off. And then this thing is going to flail at him.
He
for
just
its
keeps getting
second
hotter.
attack, which doesn't hit, just completely misses as he pushes him back, just kind of like flails out of the way. Sinner, you can see hands up, boxer position, just kind of like rocks back, like just enough for it to miss him without kind of like breaking rhythm. All right, then Armor 8 is going to come in, and because Isle is here, he is going to, try to grab Isle as Wolf. I need Wolf Isle to roll a dexterity or athletics or acrobatics check, whichever you prefer. You need to beat a 17.
Sorry, I had to remember which one was which. 15.
15.
Yeah.
The armor manages to grab you without limbs in the armor. It's a little Gumby like. It can kind of wrap around you in sort of unnatural positions. It grabs you and it tries to drag you back this way a little bit, but it doesn't do any damage to you or anything like that. It's just like trying to drag you back, and it loses its other attack.
Can I ask if it seems like it's trying to drag me back away from a thing in particular?
Give me an insight check, and I'd say with disadvantage because it's a very non-human thing.
Yeah. With disadvantage. Still, a 22.
Jesus Christ! All right.
I rolled a 16 and an 18. I'm sorry.
With a 22, it's not dragging you away from something; it's dragging you towards something. It's trying to move you towards the skeleton, and you remember.
Give me see more.
You remember that May pointed it out to people, but you can the ceiling circle around the skeleton is one way. You can go in but not out unless you switch it off from the inside.
The inside of the
22
circle?
Inside of the circle, right next to the skeleton boy. That's what 22 gets you. That's how it seems to be moving you.
Don't do that, folks. Don't go in there.
And that's the armor's turn. It is Fish with Cal on deck.
I'd like to roll perception to see if Fish can figure out that there's any sort of significance to this to these symbols that May saw.
Mm-hmm. I'd say give me an Arcana, or you still had your Elder Sight up. So I'd say give me an. You can do a perception check. It won't give you as detailed information as an Arcana check.
Okay, I will pivot to Arcana then, even though it's only a 14.
Okay. With a 14, you do look at these, and you can see this kind of transfer of energy coming out of the skeleton into the symbols. They kind of disappear near the roof. You can't track exactly where they go, but you can see they start to like spread out into the room before you lose track of them. So these do seem to be a source, and you see like a little glimmer of magic on the armor itself. So you understand that they're related in some way. You don't know necessarily if like breaking these would stop the armor or what, but you do know that the symbols on the wall are related.
Okay, but is that like a reasonable conclusion to come to be like, oh, maybe that controls that? Yes?
I think that's reasonable. You just don't know if that's true or not. Yeah.
Fish doesn't need to know if it's true. They're gonna go over there.
Okay, you're gonna move towards the symbols?
Right here.
Yep.
And
Bring in Kekno with you?
Oh, yes.
You riding on your shoulder?
Can... Yes, Kakano's here. Okay. And looks at the symbols and says to May, "Hey, I think I'll just break one of those and see what happens. And levitate self, please."
Levitate self. Okay, so you go up 30 feet?
Yeah, as well, however it can get that it can be that I'm level with it.
Yeah. All right. What do you do then?
Fuck it. Let's go for a blasphemous dart. Just straight at it, and let's do all four even.
I will point out, levitate self is a spell that you have to do. Blasphemous darts, I believe, is also a action. So you.
Yes, it is. Oh, okay. Can I just punch it then?
Yeah, you can absolutely punch it.
I'd like to punch, please.
Okay. Give me
but no one look at me because it's not going to be as cool as when Senna does it.
Give me an attack roll. That would be D20 plus. Let me just get over to abilities and proficiencies. Yes, D20 plus 3 to hit.
That's a 13.
13. A 13. I'm not gonna jerk you around. You cannot punch this thing hard enough as fish to do damage to the stone. So with a 13, you're just floating up and
Oh, it wasn't even one of those. It was just like,
yeah.
okay, well that didn't work.
It's not bad enough that you hurt yourself, but definitely didn't make any progress. And you're now floating and can kind of move yourself around.
Wait, okay. Am I like level with the skeleton?
You are you have the ability with Levitate Self to get everywhere from like level with the skeleton's head to like the ceiling. This room is not a full 30 feet high, so you could even like crawl along the ceiling if you wanted to.
I will just get level with the skeleton and go, hello. Okay.
And this will end.
Okay. Fish ends their turn.
Yeah, not a lot of pleasantries here while it's actively fighting you, but a good instinct, yeah. Alright, that is Cal with the swarm of swords and axes on deck.
Okay, well, I'm gonna say Cal first watched the fucking Sinner and Isle circus act and went like, thanks, and swore in French, just being like, what the fuck? And then she turns to Fish and is probably glad that Fish has floated up. What hand did Fish use to punch the wall, Ink?
This one, not their left.
Okay,
Right.
cool, good. And she's gonna be like, what are you?
I'm helping.
No, if anyone can convince a being to want to die, it's you. Keep doing that. And I'm gonna do just like a vibe check on the skeleton and see what it's trying to accomplish besides, like, is there like focus? Like, what am I gonna get just by like looking at it? And
Yeah, give me a insight check. You are used to you have studied kind of spirits and non-human things, so I say you won't make this with disadvantage.
Okay.
But I will also say, just for rule keeping, I forgot about Kekino. You can
right.
You can use Kekino to give yourself advantage on that punch if you wanted to for Fish. I will say you would have to roll a critical hit in order to overcome the damage threshold.
Look, I want to say that while Fish was rising up, they were like, "Oh right, land safe."
Who did you give Kekino to?
It had to be. Yeah, I was gonna say it had to be me.
Incoming.
Roll to
Then
catch.
If Caligulus wants, you can use Kekino to get advantage on an attack roll.
Okay. Well, for my insight, it was a 15.
Okay. With a 15, you can see the sort of black and purple flame orb in the eye socket that seems to make up this being is kind of like darting all around the room, focusing on like everything at once. But you can see that it keeps coming back to you guys being really close to it.
Mm-hmm.
And there is sort of like this echo, as if it's like no longer actively speaking, but kind of its will is being pronounced. That's like, sever, sever, free me, free, freedom, sever, over and over again. And it is focusing on you three being like so close to it. So it does really seem like this is... I'd also say with a 15, you get a sense of desperation.
Mm-hmm.
This thing of being like, I think it probably occurs to you that like you're the first people who have been in here in probably millennia that this thing has been stuck.
Yeah. I think Cal is going to make a careful step away from the border because I think she probably has figured out that stepping into it is a really bad idea, and she's going to she's going to grab Kakano and be like, "Don't cross the border."
Okay.
And I think that might sever it. And she turns to May and she's like, are you willing to disconnect it, completely give up any chance of speaking to it?
May looks at it really longingly, but she also like is cognizant of the fact that, you know, they are surrounded by like animated armor, and she would like to explore the rest of the ruins without dying.
Yes.
So she looks to you and just nods tightly. She's not happy
Okay.
about it, but she goes over.
I'm gonna reel up, get like a bunch of shadow in my hand, and I'm going to, while I do that, and aim for the power conduit. Is that right?
Sure.
I'm gonna see what the Sans Undertale does in reaction to that.
With the insight that you did before, it seems it notices what you're doing, and its attention is flicking between you and the symbols. You can't really get if it's nervous about that or not. With a 15.
She's gonna. I don't know if this is the phrase she knows, but basically in for a penny. And so we're gonna cast a Shadow Spear against the conduit.
Okay.
Now it does say creature in my thing. I'm sure I'm assuming
this
it's
counts
fine.
This counts
Yeah.
as a creature, yeah.
Is this the one that's like right next to Fish's head now? Because now it's their turn to yell
Cal
down
can
at
choose
her.
to aim for one of the other ones, but yeah. you
No,
can absolutely
I don't think she'd be that much of an asshole. She's got good range on it. She'll aim for the farthest one then.
Okay. Give me an attack roll.
Cool. That is a 12.
All right, with a 12, whooshes by, kind of splashes against the symbols, doesn't hit hard enough to kind of get really in there. You just missed by a little bit.
Yeah. Would I know, just from my high arcana in general, whether or not I could do my shadow wave, which is the creature within a 15-foot cone must make a wisdom saving throw? Does power of conduits have wisdom?
Give me an arcana check.
Okay. Cool, that's gonna be great. That's a 13. Or 23.
With a 23, you know that as a unmoving, unfeeling, non-sentient object, these symbols automatically fail strength, dexterity, and constitution saving throws, and automatically succeed on intelligence, wisdom, and charisma saving throws because it's a stone wall.
I love being a smart girly.
Yeah,
Okay.
you also know that as a physical object, it is not completely immune to psychic damage, which I believe your Shadow Wave is, but it is resistant to it.
Cool.
You can sort of make your psychic attack physical enough to affect it, but it doesn't.
Yeah, but it will automatically succeed on the wisdom saving throw, so there's no point of doing that. Yeah, I'm still probably gonna stick with that, and so. Yeah, that's probably too far. So I think I'm just not gonna use my bonus action just to be safe. And
you also have the ability to move, and you can do a bonus action hide, things like that.
Yeah, no, I think I'm just gonna square up with my
Remember that if you
sigil
hide, you
buddies.
get advantage on the next attack.
Hiding from a power conduit.
Yeah.
All right, then fine. I
mean, there's
will
other
hide
things here.
Unsentient object.
Are you moving and hiding, or just hiding?
I'll say I scooch into you know what? You probably have some fucked up shit in this little corner, so I'll start scooting down into there.
In here?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll only move like 10 feet though, so I'm still in good range of.
Into here. You
And
don't
bring
see
Kekino with me.
Bring Kekino with you. You don't see anything.
Oh, I forgot to roll my attack with advantage with Kekino. Okay, I'll do that.
Give me another roll.
Don't think that's much better. Yeah, that's a same thing. It's another 12, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. You retreat back here with Kekino. You don't see anything in this room. This looks like just the wall has kind of collapsed, and there's a little bit of a natural cave here. Give me a stealth check.
Hey. $15.
With a 15, you just disappear. The others can kind of see where you are depending on their passive perception. It seems like you can actually see the creature's orb pass over you and start focusing on the others. It seems like you are hidden and their perception is not very good.
Got it.
All right, that is the Swarm of Swords and the Swarm of Axes with the Dark Entity on deck. Unlike the armor, these things move fucking far. Yeah. Direct line, this goes for May, the Swarm of Swords. Comes in here, and it is going to make an attack against May. Not very good, but May's armor class is 13, I have. Yeah?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, sorry, I nodded, yeah.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I wasn't looking at the screen. Okay, yeah, with a 13, they rolled a 14, so that does hit. Then that is going to be... Ooh. Okay. This swarm of swords surrounds you and starts hitting into you. That is a total of... yeah. That is a total of 16 damage.
16! Fucking Christ. Alright, noted.
All right. Then the Swarm of Axes, which is going to... yeah, they're just going to try to overwhelm Sinner. So they're just going to move forward and hit Sinner. Try to. No. Absolutely does not. You see this... like big torrent of axes just swinging up, down, and then one of them just cuts out and goes directly for Sinner's forehead, and he just catches it and throws it off into the ether, and it spins back around into the swarm. Total and complete miss. All right, that is those guys' turns. You don't see, as fast as they are, any other swarms of weapons come out of the darkness. So, looks like in this room, that's it. Excuse me. And now it is going to be the dark creature's turn. You see the symbols on the wall light up more and start to pulse. And energy flows through them. And a similar energy starts to alight on the animated armor. You see little dings, little imperfections fix themselves and and come out, and the animated armors are starting to heal. I don't believe they actually heal because I don't think any of them have taken damage because Vienna fully killed that one. But the ones that are left, you can see that these symbols seems like will heal them every turn. And May, Fish, and Colliginous being close enough would, and having examined these symbols, know that these are kind of in parallel, so it'll heal them less and less as you destroy more of them. All right. The Dark Spirit focuses its eye on May and then Fish, and you can see it just kind of like pushing out to both of you this idea of free me, I'll give you what you want, free me. And it's kind of begging a little bit. And that brings us to the top of the round with Sinner. Sinner was told to come back because May needs him. So he is going to turn around and break off from these guys and take 3 attacks of opportunity. So let me solve those.
Real quick, was I getting updated on that through Kekano phone?
Which part of it?
Sans Undertale telling mind melding with Fish and May.
Yeah, it's kind of like, it's just kind of like pushing this out there. It's focusing on May and Fish because they're closest, but it's almost like speaking. So you don't even
Okay,
need Kekano.
so I don't
Just
need
you
Kekano.
Being there, you got it.
How is
Yes,
Kekano
Man
doing, by
isn't
the
even
way?
tailoring his
Kekano,
message.
Kekano like is freaking out, but you also kind of have to hold him back because his
Yeah.
dad just floated up to the ceiling to go confer with a dark god,
Yeah.
and he was like, "No,
Yeah,
I'm
Kel's
dead."
probably just going, shh, it's okay, it's okay.
Kekano might also be a bit concerned about what's going through Fish's head.
Oh
I'm just saying.
Concerning. That is 2 hits for the opportunity attacks on Sinner. So... what do I have to roll? Okay. These. And 2 of these. Okay. One of the animated armors is still wrapped around Isle, so it just kind of like swings out at Sinner, but doesn't hit him. The other 2 slam into Sinner. One gets a punch into his side as he runs away, and one of the axes thocks into his shoulder. He takes 27 points of damage, and you see Isle, you and May, because of where your attention is focused, see that the axe slams into his shoulder, and then as it comes out, his wound glows a little bit golden and is significantly less damage than he should have taking an axe from the shoulder. And so instead of 27 damage, he takes 13 damage, which he just fully shrugs off. It's not even super obvious that he noticed it. And he is going to run over to May. And as he's running over, he's shouting, like, I can clear the swords?
May like screams back at him, "No, I need you to punch the symbols," and like gestures where is Fish is still near the symbols, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, gestures like at those conduits specifically.
Give
I'll
me
be fine.
a
Just
give me a persuasion check because he is worried about you.
ah. Hold on. $11.
With an 11, he actually, as he is running past, he turns and drives a fist at a sword that was coming for you. And it doesn't look like he's completely ignoring your instructions, but he is taking a swing as he passes by. That is going to do it. Or is it going to do it? Wait. Yes. Okay. Rolls. All right. As Sinner run past you, he looks at you and says, "Got it, boss." Jabs out and takes out a sword that was swinging directly for your face. He hits for 14 against the swarm of swords, and then is going to run past you, past the symbols. Fish is at the ceiling, so it's kind of like the same space Fish is occupying. He is going to make a leap. That's cocked. And that is an incredibly low roll, and his athletics are still so good it makes up for it, which is incredible. And he genuinely, like, I don't think you've ever seen Sinner jump. He fully, like, slips on a piece of rock and still gets, like, a full 3-foot vertical. And so it's like, oh, that was a fuck up jump. This man could jump very high if he had rolled well. And then he's going to take 2 attacks at the symbol right in front of him.
I think it would be very funny if it was like, "Hi."
Yes, no, it's genuinely like, he genuinely jumps up. He's like still a little bit below Fish, but he's like, oh hey, cover your eyes. And then he is swinging. He got 2 hits, one of which is a crit. So I have to do a bunch of math, if you'll give me a moment. Oh, God. Okay. Okay.
Fuck, I wish I was like an accomplished animator. This whole sequence would be great to do.
Procreate Dreams comes out in 3 days.
That's true.
I'm
Gonna use my
fuck around and
degree.
find out.
Really? That's so good. I'm so glad.
Not that I'm gonna be doing fight scenes, but
I believe in y'all. It's gonna look amazing.
He rolled only okay for his actual damage. He does 49 points of damage because of the critical, as he does not just like hit this symbol, that entire section of wall explodes. It's not, you're like, oh, maybe we can preserve what the symbols say. We just gotta like mess them up enough to kind of deactivate them. That entire like section of wall just like falls off onto the ground. Those symbols don't exist anymore. As he absolutely destroys that and then lands back down below Fish. And that's his turn.
That was my idea first. I just want to say.
Hey, you got it. as it is now May's turn with Metal on deck.
Yeah. Patrick, is there any likelihood of us getting a short rest before the eventual big bad in this dungeon, do you reckon? I'm seeing whether I want to use a spell or not.
Patrick has, I will say, he could be an asshole. Patrick has never made us do 2 intended battle map, like, back-to-back fights without a long rest. And he could be a dick, but I think
I could be a dick.
As somebody who's been playing for a year, I would feel pretty confident using most of my spell points. I try not to completely deplete.
I will also say that, as far as you know, in this moment, if you're talking Big Bad being this spirit creature, it's still sealed.
Pretty bad.
But as Sinner comes up and fully explodes this wall and destroys all the symbols, you actually see a series of symbols down the skeleton's left arm nearest to you crack and start to fizzle and release energy. And that part of the ceiling on the skeleton is now gone. You can see the spirit start to just still focusing on you. It is now able to bulge ever so slightly out of the eyeball, out of the eye socket, as if the symbols keeping it there have been weakened.
Okay. I'm thinking real fucking hard at the moment. Is it obvious without a roll that these swords that are in the swarm, that they're hard enough to crack through stone, like this stone in particular?
It looks like they would definitely scratch up stone enough to
disrupt symbols.
To disrupt symbols, yeah.
Right. Okay. May's gonna use her. I don't know if this is even viable, Patrick, but I want May to use her whip to grab one out of the air and fling it at the symbols that are remaining.
Interesting. I will say. Wow, this is going to be a series of checks. But let me say, give me an attack roll. An attack roll with your whip against the swarm. Yeah.
Okay. I got the right one. That's a 6 plus 2, so 8. But it also gives me a +1 to attack with the whip, so 9, I guess.
Is that damage or attack roll? Attack roll is a d20 plus 5 for you.
Oh, okay, sorry. It just says grants +1 to attack in the effect.
Yes, it does. It grants +1 to attack and hit, but that's already accounted for in the math.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. All right. So yeah, I rolled an 8.
Okay. You rolled an 8 on a d20. You
Oh no, sorry, Patrick. I thought this was rolling for damage first, so I got to do the.
No, you rolled a hit first.
Okay, sorry. All right, we'll do that first. That's an 11.
With an 11, wait, a total of 11 or 11 on the die?
11 on the die.
Okay, 11 on the die plus 5 gets you to 16. That is enough that you hit the swords. Instead of doing damage, I'm going to allow you to kind of whip out the sword and throw it at the symbol instead. Give me a... I'll say a... God, what do I want this to be? Acrobatics or sleight of hand check?
Yeah, sure. D20 again?
Yeah. D20 and then add your relevant modifier.
That was a nat 1.
Okay. Roll a 1d4 for me.
Yeah. A 4.
Okay. You whip this sword out of the bunch. The swarm of swords does take some damage because you're ripping away part of its component. And you wrap around this sword, whip it out of the bundle. It goes straight into Fish, and it takes a chunk out of Fish's leg. You just turned around, you aimed at the symbols, and that's where Fish was. So Fish takes 4 damage, and so does the Swarm of Swords.
Assuming
May,
Pekino. Go ahead, May. Or sorry,
I was
sorry,
gonna
Ellie.
say- I was gonna say May looks like it'll happen too fast for her to like vocalize anything, but she looks really devastated and like upset and like horrified.
It is genuinely that like that you just go up, you shoot a perfect 3-pointer, and you're like, yes, this is gonna be the highlight of my career, and you watch it just completely miss the basket and nail a cheerleader in the face so fucking hard. Like almost in slow-mo, you're like, yeah, no! No, you can
Sinner's
be
like-
creative. I respect it. I would have absolutely let you do damage to this thing if that had succeeded.
What other moves do I have left, Patrick? So that's my.
That was your
I-
action. You still have movement and a bonus action if you have anything.
Crying is a free
Yeah.
action.
And
Crying is a
also,
free action.
I was gonna say, I'm assuming Kekno was like squirming and freaking out now.
Oh yeah,
Um,
he's just like, no! You gotta be careful!
Smell
I have
my
a free
father's
action.
blood!
Yeah, I'm like Cal's like holding onto the squirming Kekno, and she's like, "We need to be more specific with the sigils. We can't just brute force it."
Yeah, I was hoping to talk to the guy
Ow, my
before I got
leg.
sworded in my leg. Maybe I'll
Are you
just float
still-
here and be useless.
I'm sure you can still talk. I think you should.
Oh, now you want me to talk?
I told you that I wanted you to talk.
Yeah,
It was a compliment.
I don't feel
I think
complimented.
that's all the talk you can get in this turn, really quickly. But May does still have movement. I will say you will get cut by the swords if you try to move too far away from them. But you can like reposition and stuff. And if you have any kind of bonus actiony things you can do.
I'm pretty sure I don't have any bonus actions. Thinking so hard right now, you have no idea.
But yeah, like run a like Arcana or Sigil. Do like an Arcana
yeah,
or Sigil. It's like
yeah,
a free
I'll run
action.
another-
That's what Cal was saying.
No, perfect. I'll run another symbol check then.
Okay. Yeah, give me another symbol check. D20 plus 3.
Yeah. 14 again.
14.
So 14 total.
14 total. You get see that now that it's kind of burned out, you can see the connection between the symbols on the skeleton and the symbols in the wall, and you think that, yeah, I'd say with a 14, you kind of get the sense that whatever this dark spirit is, it's kind of like brute forcing a security system it is supposed to be a part of. But that these symbols are also tied to its bindings, and that it is going to be able to heal its allies less if it has fewer of these symbol packs. It will also have less keeping it here, keeping it contained and stuff. So if you don't want it to get out, then you've kind of got to balance the symbols versus the other enemies and such.
Okay, but it's not immediately obvious to me from that check what symbols I need to cherry pick.
You start to get a sense of some things on the skeleton itself that you're like, if I can get in there and physically, like, I carve this into a new symbol, I reinforce this here slightly, you can make it a little bit harder for the thing to escape. As it is with a 14, you don't see the symbols on the wall, any way to neutralize them without destroying them.
Okay, right, in my turn.
Okay. That is Metal with Isle on deck.
Okay. Okay. So I think Metal's gonna keep. She's gonna continue her plan to go out the door, or at least check on the door. And she's gonna run up to number 1 here and use Stone Fist and hopefully punch him to death.
Just run up, full on punch.
Yeah.
You got it. Give me the attack roll for Stone Fist.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh gosh. This is wow. 23.
A 23, well, including including your plus 6 attack.
Yeah.
Wow. All right.
I rolled
yeah,
a 17, y'all.
23 absolutely hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
Whack. It's 2d10 bludgeoning damage.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I also want to remind everyone, it's too late to do this now, but I want to remind anyone, for a lot of spells, you do have the ability to upcast them. So you can do a spell that's like kind of all in, even stronger if you spend more on it. But yeah. Do your 2d10.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Ten.
10 total?
Yeah.
All right. With a 10 total,
Really?
that you make your fist into stone, just like plow through the breastplate, and you can see the metal kind of like wraps around you. This thing definitely noticed, but it doesn't seem like this is a crippling amount of damage for it.
We do hate that.
As you just swing your big stone fist in, boom, and the metal just kind of crumbles.
Okay.
Yeah. What are you gonna do with the rest of your turn?
Well, I really wanted to keep going. What I was hoping would happen was that I would totally kill him and then I could keep going over to the door.
Yeah.
Is there any way I can just keep going over there? Like, is that crazy? I know he'll get an attack on me.
You could, if you wanted to retroactively use sorcery points to make Stone Fist a bonus action. You could then take the disengage action, which would keep you from taking opportunity attacks. You wouldn't be able to do anything once you got to the door this turn, but you can absolutely get over to the door.
Okay. Can I do that? I'd love
Yep.
to do that. Wonderful. Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So that's
yeah,
2.
you do that. You take disengage, and so it can't get any hits on you. You get to about here, yeah, it's like a free action. You can take another perception check on the door if you want.
I would love to. Are we gonna say this is no longer advantage? I guess it's...
I'm gonna say this is not a cavern. This is not a cavern wall or anything like that. This is just a steel door in a ancient facility. I think no advantage.
Okay, just making sure. But I got 21 though.
With a 21, you see that there does seem to be the door itself, which is fairly big and heavy. You can actually see a lot of like, you actually see a lot of like, kind of like warping, and it kind of like this green steel that the ancients used don't really rust really, but you can see like some water damage and stuff like that. It looks like this was kind of trapped in the open position for a really, really long time. You can see the wall is like kind of destroyed a little bit where it slid out of. And that is kind of fucking with it a little bit. But this is a very strong door, reinforced, almost like a blast door. Like they knew this was a dangerous room that they wanted to be able to seal off. And you can see there is 4 big like bolts that go out. This is the door you came in, but it was like stuck in the open position. There are 4 big bolts that have been slid to the side to kind of seal it into the wall, and there is this sheen of a magical ceiling as well.
Okay.
And Vienna, to answer your question about upcasting, that is where you spend more than the cost of a spell on the spell, and it does more.
I know what it is. I was making the up dog joke.
Oh, okay.
Ellie got it.
Cool. For the record, for Stone Fist, until the next start of my next turn, I can use my reaction for slashing or piercing damage to
Yep.
get resistance. So just
Yep, that's
FYI.
if something attacks you. I will say, Mooney is asking, do we have eyes on a second door? No. However, with Metal's high
No.
perception check, she does see that this wall over here is seemingly slightly destroyed and open. Not necessarily representing a way out, but she can see that
I'll go there next.
there's something.
Cool.
Yeah, and that is Metal's turn. It is now time for Isle with the armor on deck. Isle, you are currently grappled, so you can use your action to try to break free of the grapple. Otherwise, you can try and kind of attack this thing that's holding you, but you'll do it with disadvantage from just kind of the awkwardness of being wrapped up in it.
Hug.
And I will say that if you shift back to human, I don't know if you want to burn the shift, but if you shift back to human, you will get advantage on the check to free yourself because it's holding a suddenly very different shape.
Wolf. Yes.
Yeah, it's holding a wolf right now. It's gonna then hold a full
Person.
woman. Yeah.
Yes. I think we're gonna stay. Listen. When you're dropping numbers like 27 damage, we're going to stay in wolf form for now, I think. So she is going to try to wiggle her way out.
Okay. Wiggle way out. Give me a athletics or acrobatics check, and that does use the wolf stats.
Wolves. Yes.
We're gonna see if he holds on to you.
I hope he doesn't. Because I rolled 17, so that's 20.
Okay, with a 20, unfortunately he does hold on to you because
you
he rolled
fucking
really
kidding me?
well. He
Are you
rolled a natural
fucking kidding
19. Rolled a natural
What the
19.
fucking mother of fucking god. Girl, what the fuck?
Yeah. Sorry. You just really wiggle, and this thing just keeps kind of like shifting slightly
It's a
to
really
get a hold
horrible
of you.
noise.
Yeah,
You
just like
your claws on metal.
Yeah. Yeah, I will say you don't have any bonus actions as a wolf other than to drop the form. Yeah, I guess that's your turn unless you want to try to drop. No? Okay. Then that is the armor's turn with fish on deck. Armor 1 saw metal going towards the door as well as hitting it. It's going to clank back to metal, and it's going to take some attacks. Okay. One of those is a crit, and the other fully misses. I'm going to say, before I tell you the amount of damage, you need to tell me whether you're using your reaction to get...
I'm gonna use my reaction.
Then any damage that they do on this crit is halved.
Mega Slay. Cool. Go on then.
More like you're gonna get mega slain.
That was 13 damage, reduced to 6 damage.
Oh, we're fine, y'all. Oh my god, hello, person! I saw that. Okay, cool.
And then
Did Sun say something, or did he just make Guttural noises.
I just made guttural noises representing the armor. I know you were talking about like someone who walked into camera, but
Yeah.
The
He's like,
skeleton's
"Hey."
that's me.
I thought it would be funny if the armor responded.
Oh,
All right. This is going to go here. This is going to go here. This is going to appear around this corner. The animated armor holding Isle is going to push you against your will. It's going to move you a little bit. And it can't move you very far, but then it is going to use its action to move you even farther. So it can get you to about here. And then this animated armor is going to come up this way. And nobody else is close enough to do attacks. Oh, these guys are, now that they can see you, are going to use their actions to get a little bit closer. They're going to continue to move. If you are wondering, this is the 1 hour mix of Megalovania that I've then looped.
I'm loving
all right.
it.
So
never-
they are all running in. Yeah. That is nobody. None of the other armors get any attacks or anything like that. It is now Fish's turn with Cal on deck.
Okay. So when I want to do performance instead of like persuasion or deception, that entails like just an extra bit of theatricality, doesn't it?
It depends. You need to give me like a good enough argument for it being performance. Like performance is technically like singing, dancing, like
Okay.
actually performing. But if you're like, oh my goodness, I am going to float down and release you. It's like maybe you could sell me on a performance.
I'm an angel.
Yeah.
I just found out I was called this thing called a no. Fish would like to have a quick chat with Sans, which is, if I let you out, what are you gonna do? Like, are you just gonna hang out or like go retire to the French countryside?
It is trying to respond to you. But it is trying to respond to you non-verbally. It is trying to communicate a slightly more complicated concept, and so you can feel it kind of pressing up against your mind, like it wants to speak to you psychically.
Yeah, I get that, man. Listen, I want to help. I do. I want to help you. Not in a bullshit way. I'd like to roll Arcana on the symbols that have been carved on it.
If you're not gonna let him into your mind to speak,
let him in. Get on in here, man. Talk to me.
You feel kind of like a slither across your mind just a little bit as a tiny tendril of his essence that can now escape due to these symbols being burned out, just enough to kind of caress your brain and be able to talk to you. And you can feel it kind of taking something just a little bit, but it's
hey, whoa, don't do that.
taking language ability. It's kind of like probing for your language, for the ability to speak with you more clearly. And this creature says in your mind, I just desire freedom. I want out. And if I am going to be out, I don't think you have any risk from me. These weapons will stop. The security will stop. I can help you. Let me out. Just let me out, and I can help you. I won't hurt any of your friends. I won't hurt you. Just let me out.
How long have you been here?
You can feel kind of like a question, and then a little bit of movement in your mind, as if it is kind of like parsing your thoughts for like the concept of how much time has passed, like what year, what time it is now, a little bit of like what the world is like, and once it gets that answer, it says millennia.
You probably won't even like it out there.
I'm
But-
sure I will be fine.
How convinced is it okay for fish to be? Because
You
frankly,
can give me an insight check, and now that this thing is speaking mind to mind with you, it's less foreign because it's kind of like shaping itself to be able to communicate. So there's no disadvantage. Just give me a straight insight check.
okay, it's pretty shit. 9.
With a 9, you are pretty convinced that it is going to keep its word. You sense a lot of desperation, a lot of like, this is the one chance I've had in millennia to get out. I will do anything to make that happen.
Trapped here for all that time. It must have been really bad. I can sympathize. Not personally. I mean, I've heard plenty of stories of people who've been alone. Yeah, I'll see what I can go. What I can do.
Thank you. I can guide you. I can show you things you've never thought of. Just release me. That's all it will take.
You know what?
Secrets. Whatever you need.
Okay. Fish is going to drop out of the levitation place.
Okay. Are you done communing with this thing?
For now, yes. And then gonna go step up a bit closer to the circle and crouch down and examine it, and I'll roll for examination of the thing.
Okay,
Please.
you got it. Give me an Arcana or Symbol check.
Single check probably wouldn't be very good.
Can May help at all?
19! Okay.
Are you doing Arcana or Symbol? Because it will be different. What information?
I know, and I can't ask you for advice. So everyone else give me advice.
Go for the
It-
specific one.
Yeah, I will say it's also like Fish right now is more motivated by being like, is there a way I can kind of like maybe help this guy out and make sure he doesn't murder my friends? And I think that would be more of a like, maybe if I modify the symbol so like it
Okay.
gets out, but it can't touch anyone or something like that. So I'd say symbol makes more sense for where Fish
Yeah.
is at.
Simple magic, so that's a 16.
Okay. With a 16, the symbols you're looking at on the ground that ring this thing, it's like May said, it's a one-way door. You can get in, but you can't get out. And you actually, with a 16, see that this is like probably some of the strongest symbol work here, like potentially even stronger than what's on the skeleton or the wall. This is the line of last resort, for lack of a better term. But that crossing into it would be very easy. You wouldn't be able to access these symbols in order to cross back out. You would be trapped, and you can't see any way someone could kind of undo that directly. But there is a very obvious string of symbols just along the inside that very clearly and obviously unlocks it. You would just need to activate it from the inside, and this whole outer shell would come down. For the symbols on the skeleton itself, with a 16, you can get the sense that with some time and attention, you could perhaps alter the spells such that it could be free but has a very narrow opening. There's nothing you can do to, it seems like with a 16, to be like, I'm only going to take a piece of you out of here, or I can bind you and keep you passive, or what have you. You do think you can essentially open just a little crack in the lockbox. That means that whatever this being is will only be able to kind of come out slowly, and maybe that would put it in a more vulnerable position, or maybe that would kind of allow you more control over it. Maybe it will take longer. It's hard to know because you don't really know what being in here you're dealing with. But you do think you could probably make some modifications to like let it out without totally busting open the safe.
Hey guys, what if I do something really crazy? Would you be able to like forgive me?
Absolutely not.
Oh,
No!
fuck you! I don't care what you think. I was talking to the others. May,
What do you need, Fish?
I was thinking of stepping on in there.
No!
Shut up.
Was there anything else you were going to say? Oh.
I might be able to, so the symbols in there, I could like modify them, and we could get the guy out like in a way that's not dangerous. And wouldn't that be a win-win for everyone?
I reckon May has a look, now that she like understands that she can't just destroy the symbols and that be the end of it. Looks back at the wall, looks at her like, I presume, big gushing wound, because she has like lost a third of her health, which I think is pretty significant. Looks at the wound on Fish's leg, and I think that specifically makes her feel really guilty and like determined to support you in this specific moment. She might have not done this another time, but she's like, I've got to make it up to this person who's tried to help me out, and says, that might be doable, but once you're in, we don't know what that thing's going to do to you. Do you understand that?
I guess. Kakano?
Muted, Patrick. Patrick, you're muted.
Are you calling verbally or through Kekino phone?
No, I'm calling to Kakano.
Yes, Dad?
Thoughts, feelings, opinions?
Don't do anything too dangerous. I know that you like to do fun stuff in adventure, but this is scary. But I will support you no matter what.
If Isle can hear, she snarls, "Just don't fucking die!"
Okay. Kakano, whatever happens, I'm not leaving you. You will not be without me.
And I'm not leaving you. We're together forever.
Sorry,
Yeah.
was this over, I can't remember, was this over the phone? The Kakano phone, or was this...
Fish is just
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
shouting.
To each other.
Alright. May's hearing all this going on, and she's also looking back at this god and seeing, like, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and says, I'm going in with you. And I'm going to frame this with, like, if we do need to carve that skeleton, May's going to be way more equipped to do it than Fish is.
Totally. All right, May. Let's go.
Okay, and you
We're
step
gonna-
over the circle.
Yeah, step in. Bring us in.
I know it's not
Isle and Cinder look at each other like, fuck, this is where we're at, huh?
Yeah.
Cal is like shaking Kakano out of stress, like, you're both insane!
Sinner is
God.
definitely in the middle of this, like looking to everyone, being like, I don't know enough about this to understand if this is a bad idea or not, but it certainly
May-
gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Can I have May say one more thing? I know
Yeah.
it's not much time, but May looks at Sinner and says, make sure that you protect the rest of them. And she gives him a really big grin, as in, like, she is very excited.
I love her so much.
She's nuts.
She is fucking nuts. Can I step through at the same time, Patrick? Can we just bend the rules? 'Cause I think it would be pretty cool if we stepped through at the same time.
Fish has not used an action yet. I will say if it ends Fish turn, Fish will also be able to grab you and kind of...
Yeah, I
Bring
was
you
gonna
in.
say, a grab what counts.
Grab the old hand. Come on in with me.
As you leave, you had this big swarm of swords that was coming up on you that you're kind of like, battering off as you're having this conversation. As you step back, it has an opening and doesn't. It just keeps spinning and doesn't hit you as you step away into the circle with Fish. All right, that's Fish's turn. It is now Cal with the swarms on deck.
Way to God. Yeah, Cal's having a fucking meltdown. I think she's gonna look over at, she's gonna look over at, Sinner and Isle and the Metal working on the door and be like, very grateful Metal is as far away from this as possible. I want to ask you, Patrick, I know you're gonna say no, but I'm gonna ask anyways, because I am your girlfriend. What spell card translates to Cal's warding? And can I use it?
Translates to what?
Her warding abilities.
We didn't do any kind of direct spell card.
Yes.
I just kind of said, like, generally speaking, you could set this up as long as mechanically we don't really have it hurt people.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that comes out of kind of your Shadow Wave and Shadow Spear
Cool.
ability. What are
Excellent.
you trying to do? And I will tell you if it's possible and what you will have to roll for it.
I would like to do a secondary boundary outside of the one that they just crossed. So if this all goes to fucking hell, at least I have something that will stop and pause the skeleton for a minute while the remaining living party can bolt. So I just want to make a ward. I know it's not going to be necessarily particularly strong, but she's so desperate she doesn't care. It's something.
Okay. I will say, how do I want to flavor this? Give me an Arcana check.
Okay. God. Can I get a help action with Kakano?
Yes.
Oh, that was cool. That's an 18.
Okay. With an 18, you have this ability, Arms of Hadar, that is
Mhm.
kind of like, big, thick octopus tentacles of magic that come around you in darkness and you can use to attack enemies and wrap around you. With an 18, you feel like you could, if you used that and you kind of move closer to this thing, you could kind of expand it to guard at least like half of this circle. You wouldn't be able to get through all of it, but you would be able to like guard half of the circle.
Cool. I will cast that, and I will have the guard part be the let me look at the map because I was gonna say try and get it angled so it's the part that's kind of facing everybody. Where?
Technically, a 10-foot circle around you.
Mhm.
So it's where is my spell templates? Here we go. It's this area of this white circle. So that's not small. You can if you move Cal to like right here, you can kind of like set that up and like protect this whole corner if you want.
Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna get a just kind of overlap it if I can with the original circle. Can I do that?
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah. Overlap with the original circle.
they get
Try
a
to
little
like lasso Skeleton Man and then go somewhat outside of it.
This is following you wherever you are.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, then
We're
we'll
having
just
to
say,
like step out into the public.
okay, hard for her. Yeah, no, I'm just gonna try and do that. I know he can go the opposite way, but I don't know. We're gonna be creative. We're gonna have fun flavors.
Yeah, no doubt.
And she's gonna do that side, and then she's gonna turn to center, and she says, "You try to cover the other exit point," and then she's going to bonus action disengage, and then use the rest of her movement to move past. Which I don't know how much I have left, but whatever the rest of her movement is to move past the where's my pointer? These guys.
Okay. You will take a tap of opportunity.
Bonus action disengage.
You're right. Okay. I would say you can get about here.
Cool.
No, actually about
Worked good. Yeah, that worked good for me, and I'll be near Isle. So that's what I do. My free action was telling Center to try and cover the other half.
Okay. You got it.
Jesus Christ.
That is now the swarm of swords and axes, and this dark spirit on deck. The swarm of axes is going to fly over. It can move through the spaces of other creatures, and it's going to get kind of right next to Cal, to kind of sort of block her in. And the swarm of swords is going to move over here and kind of like not attack Sinner, but kind of threaten him. You get the sense that I'd say these things seem a little bit less aggressive, less like they're trying to attack you, and now more like they're trying to herd you, so that your party members don't change their mind about trying to free this thing. All right, that is they're not going to take any attacks, so that's their turn, and it is the dark spirit with Sinner on deck. When May and Fish cross over the line, you start to be able to feel this psychic pressure on both of you, as it is trying to reach out and communicate with you again, both Fish and May. Do you accept?
I accept this call.
I also accept the call.
Will you accept the charges?
Yes. 20 cents? No! Sorry.
What is this, out of town? Come on! As you step through, and this thing presses on your consciousness, and you allow it in. It seems to be able to manifest itself a little more strongly now that you are inside this barrier. And so instead of just being mental words, it actually takes you to sort of a mental place. It's just a dark, shadowy nothingness that seems to be burning with this purple and black flame that represents this entity, as both you and May are seemingly in this same psychic space together. The creature says, "Destroy the sealing runes. Destroy the transfer runes. Release me, and everything will stop. No more harm to the others. We can end this."
We can't roll inside or anything at this point, can we, Patrick? 'Cause it's not our turn.
No, you can. It's interacting
roll.
with you, so you can roll.
Yeah, cool.
I would like to roll insight
Okay.
and get
We,
better
like,
than
mind
fucking
meld,
9.
like- yeah, mood.
Oh, well, 14 is better than fucking 9.
Mm-hmm.
I got 12.
With
Can we
a
see from
what was that, Vienna?
Sorry, I was gonna ask, can we see from the outside if anything changed? Like, once they walked into the bubble, did, like, everything go black or anything, or did they just look normal?
No, they just walked through. The barrier kind of flashed blue a little bit as they stepped through, seemingly unharmed. And they just walked through, and they're standing there.
Right.
With a 14 and a 12 insight, you get the sense that this thing is not as desperate as it was, since you are now a little more fully in its power, but it does still have this edge of desperation as it kind of like begs and bargains to be let out. With a 14 and a 12, you don't get the sense that it's lying. You don't get any kind of, like, that it intends to destroy you or anything like that. But I think, especially with a 14, it kind of occurs to you that, like, this thing may not be bound by its word, you know? Like, it's kind of like, if I changed my mind and I wanted to destroy you, what could you do about it, you know? So maybe coming up with something to kind of limit its ability to escape, or something like that. It may be warranted as part of a negotiation. By the same token, maybe it's like, oh, I can, say like, oh, I'll undo this part, and then you have all of your minions back off, and then I'll do the next thing. It's kind of like a give and take.
I like that.
Can Fish and May communicate, like, independently within this space without the thing overhearing them, or is it because it's in the spirit space, it's all just kind of mingling?
Give me an Arcana check.
That is...
Doesn't May have her telekinesis type thing?
Yes.
Wouldn't that work?
There is this is a very low DC, but give me the
Okay.
Arcana check. You need to beat a 8.
I got a 14. So...
Okay. With a 14, you do know that you have this like telepathic ability to communicate with Fish. but you're kind of like, okay, telepathic ability in a telepathic space, but it's a different telepathic space. Okay, so, and then you kind of like try it, it doesn't work, and you're like, oh, I understand. I need to make a separate channel, and then it clicks on, and you can speak mind to mind privately.
Cool. May
Do you
be-
promise it's private?
Yeah, don't fuck with us.
I don't promise it's private. No, it is private to the best of your abilities.
Okay. May beams right into Fish's head, and is like,
Hey, how's it going?
it's going.
Come in with me.
How about you?
Oh yeah, it's
I'm so
fine.
sorry about the sword, by the way.
Look, it's fine. I've done stupid shit myself. You can make it up to me if we make it out of here with symbol lessons and stuff.
That sounds a plan to me. Now, I don't know about you. It seems trustworthy enough and eager to cooperate, but I don't necessarily think that it will keep to its word.
Oh no. Well, if I got mad at it for that, I'd be a hell of a hypocrite. So,
I suggest that we give it a 2-part deal. So
Yeah.
as we offer initial freedom with limits, which we could potentially carve into it, whether it be whether we put down the wall first, but we still keep it trapped in the bones until it's proved that it's not going to do anything with its armored minions, and then release it. But I don't know if I can organize that release in such a way that it won't just go off the walls.
well, I'm establishing a bit of a relationship with our guy here. So how about I'll negotiate and you work on the thing.
Sounds a plan to me. Excellent. She gives you, in the mind, little pat in the back. A little mind pat. And then, I guess, like, keeps the channel open, but goes silent.
Do
And,
we
like, turns to you
agree?
expectantly.
Hey man, how's it going? We came in. We're gonna do our best to let you out. Obviously, now we are two. When I say mortals, I don't mean non-magic people. I mean mortals, as in like not as big and awesome as you. We're humans, is what I mean. So we're fallible. We're gonna do the best we can, though. So May, she's real good at this. Have a go at that, and we're gonna try and get these walls down. And maybe if you'd please put the swords away. Persuasion.
Give me a persuasion check, yeah.
Oh no. It's not a 1, is it?
I rolled a 2. And so that's +4. That's a 6.
With a 6, the being, it doesn't have eyes or anything, but you can kind of feel its attention on you, and it says, I think I will keep my swords out, if you don't mind. I will refrain from hurting your companions for as long as you work towards my release. Anything else I cannot promise.
Yep, that's reasonable. But maybe you can answer me a question in the meantime. If you're amenable to it, if you're fine, it's fine. But we won't be friends anymore. Do you know what a godkin is?
You feel it like it's almost like a sensation of chewing on your mind. Like it is trying to parse what you mean by this word. And it's hard because you don't know what you mean by this word. But
Does
it is,
May know what it means, by chance?
May has heard it and heard people refer to as it, and kind of knows that like vague cosmology that Cal also knows and talked about being like someone who draws power from somewhere that's not this Earth. But I don't think anything more specific May knows. It's kind of like that's interesting. That's not my field.
Is it more than fish nose though?
Probably.
Yes.
Okay. Can May, upon hearing this, I guess kind of like open up her mind and offer as well?
The attention becomes split between the two of you, and then it withdraws, and it goes, I see. Yes.
Yeah, you have 6 eyes. I'm sure you can see very well.
Funny.
Oh my god, I love it. It's all I've needed to hear for like this past several days. Tell me.
I do know what you speak of, although that is not a word that was used in my time. And I do not see enough of the outside world to know has it is changed. But I do know that you, fish, you can see it pulled your name out of your mind. You have powers from a realm that is not this one. A realm of sun and sand and sea. Drums and dancing. Delicious. Release me. This knowledge will be all yours. Perhaps I could even bring you there. Meet your family.
God's like, roll an inciting. My god, roll an insight.
I'm busy acting. 19, so that's +2, that's 21.
First of all, you're like, oh, I'm kind of like getting more of a sense of this thing. With a 21, you're like, this thing is predatory. It is kind of a predator of some kind, or at least operates in that kind of mindscape. So it is now like gone from kind of begging, an activity it does not like to do, to finding something it can use as leverage over me, and is now super stoked that it's like, I have information you want, and I'm just gonna relish that I have this like small amount of power over you. But it's also very confident, and you get the sense that like with a 21, I think it feels like it is putting things together. Like maybe it's not entirely knowledge, maybe it's a combination of knowledge and like a little bit of guesswork of like, you know, the guesswork of something that has a much higher understanding of a subject than you do. But it certainly seems confident.
Just one more question for you. Actually, no, 2. Question 1. What's your name? What can I call you?
I am not a being such as yourself. I've never been bound by a name the way you have, although I hope to someday soon. I have no name at the moment. Call me what you will.
Who said something? I didn't hear what it was.
Oh, I said his name is Will.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Well, I'm not really one for naming things, except for my son out there, and myself.
Yes.
Yeah. Uh, uh, you know what? I'll keep my second question to myself just for a sec. May, how's it going? How's it going there, May?
Can I roll a perception check?
Sure, what are you trying to perceive?
What this thing is and whether I recognize it from my many, many years of study of mythological creatures and like
I
historical
don't
figures
think
and
that's a
everything.
perception check. I think that would be a
Okay.
history or
Perfect.
arcana or perhaps religion check.
Let me see which one has the highest. Yeah, we are going to go a history check. Alright, please God. He hath delivered. That's a 24 for me.
24 for
We have
history?
24 all up. Yeah.
But for history is what you rolled.
Yeah, so an 18 plus 6.
Cool. For history, there are stories and lore about kind of dark spirits and animating entities, but you're trying to put that in a framework of the ancients. You know, this is their ruin. It knew the Root Warden. How does what you know about the ancients and their ruins kind of overlap with what you've kind of heard about mythological creatures, spirits, stuff like that? I think the thing you get with a 24 in history is, first of all, you're now you were like kind of thought this before, but now you're fairly sure that the bones this thing is trapped in were not its mortal flesh, was not its body. This is entirely a containment vessel, and that it's possible this was, you know, this being in these bones, but God, would a whole lot of fucked up stuff have to happen. With a 24, I think, 24 history. I think you remember some stories of remnants, and that this is not a remnant. You don't have a conversation in a mental headspace with a remnant. That's just bizarre. But something about like being an entity of kind of pure spirit, it kind of reminds you of that. Essentially, with a 24, you can't place this thing. This thing, in fact, may be unique, and the fact that you have never heard of it kind of speaks to that. But the closest thing you get is to kind of like remnants and certain like higher order ghosts and things like that are kind of these beings of pure spirit.
May communicates this to Fish. Is it fair? I'm trying not to metagame. Is it fair enough that I can that May can make that link with the possession, with the name and it being remnant adjacent?
I think you would know that these kind of entirely spiritual entities do generally have powers of possession, including remnants.
Okay.
Some of them have possession by force, and some of them don't have possession by force. They have just normal possession. There's some that you can point to with a 24 who are like, oh, this is a type of ghost that like only can possess a dead body, or things like that, or can kind of like fuse with a living organism in kind of like a more symbiotic way or something like that. I think you definitely know at like this thing is probably capable of possession. The kind of rules surrounding it are not something that you understand, because yeah, I'd say 24 history is high enough to say this. There are things that there are like these kind of spiritual entities that at least you don't know of, a way that they could be bound, like in a skeleton, in this physical object. That they just like wouldn't work on them. And so it's this kind of thing of like, you get kind of the edges of some of the rules of like, okay, maybe it needs a body, maybe it just has this kind of physical form that it's trapped in. Maybe that was important for the ceiling. I don't think you really get more than that, but you do know that like possession is kind of a possibility.
I'm a bit stumped. Ink, do you have any thoughts? Like,
Well, so this is the thought that I had last session, which is it identified foe as the faceless ones, which we agree with. So that's probably like a good sign, right? But this dude is so shady. And right now Fish is just a bit disassociating, like, oh fuck,
Yeah.
what's gonna whereas I'm thinking, you know what? Let's bail.
problem is we can't. Well, we can bet when it
No.
doesn't work. Yeah.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I'm fully willing for Fish to have a symbiote friend for a little while. And they are at this point where it's like, fuck, yeah, alright, I guess I'll just go along with you, even though you're clearly an asshole, but like, so am I. I can deal with it. I'll be fine. I can get through this stuff always. So yeah, come on, man. We'll go see the world. You know?
Okay.
So Fish is
I
no,
think
go on, Patrick.
I think kind of this is the amount of conversation that can happen with like a
Yeah.
full of this creature's turn. So I think we are going to have to come back to
Yeah,
this.
sorry.
Yeah,
and
sorry.
So kind of leave this mental space and be fully back in your bodies. You do see metal, the animated armor that you punched. The big hole in its chest just kind of folds outwards and re-knits, and it is seemingly hiccups, completely healed.
Slay. We love
Interestingly enough, May and Fish are facing the wrong way, but Caligulus and Sinner would see that the swarm of swords doesn't get more swords. It doesn't seem to be affected by this. The swarms don't seem to be healed by this process. And yeah, that is this guy's turn. And it is now Sinner at the top of the round with May on deck. After the creepy music, Megalovania just really hits. Yeah. Okay, it's Sinner's turn, and nobody has told Sinner that these guys are not actively trying to kill you anymore. So he is going to take all 3 of his attacks on the swarm of swords. Actually, no, we'll do his first 2 attacks first, because those have to be together. Oh, that's surprising. One of those missed. Alright. So then, yeah, fuck it, he'd just go for the other one too. Absolutely. Okay. So that's this. This.
For the audio listeners on YouTube, I know there's been a lot of visual dancing
Yes.
in this episode. You can't
There's been a
see
lot
it,
of
but I hope you're dancing along.
I want to thank Toby Fox.
Yeah.
Just in general.
Mooney and I were
Being
just
born.
talking about like how unfair it is that he's so talented.
This episode is sponsored by YouTube. YouTube, please don't copyright strike this. Thank you.
One of the reasons I was okay with using this as the background music is just seeing how many videos had Megalovania as the background music on YouTube. I feel like he has chosen not to copyright strike them very often.
I believe
that
that
was my thought
is
too.
how
Yeah,
it
I think
goes.
we're okay.
All right, Sinner
Whose fucking
goes.
turn is it? Yeah, right.
Yeah, Sinner goes in for a swing, just kind of like glances off of a sword, but it's actually a feint, and he comes up and with an uppercut that just goes like into a whole stack of swords that he managed to hit at the same time, shattering them, and then he punches one last one, and there's no more swords. Did 29 damage and completely killed it. Swarm of Swords is dead. And Sinner sees that May has crossed the line. He is going to run up to her and try to slam his hands against the barrier. And as immediately, like, kind of expecting resistance, is like, whoa. And tries to grab May. Does May allow herself to be kind of grabbed by like the shoulders?
Ink, Ink, I could really play this either way. What do you?
It's up to
What do
you.
you
I will
want?
say, just because he's trying doesn't mean he'll succeed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's up to you, but my thought is, like, if May's not, like, we're facing away, she hasn't seen this, it would
Of
take her
course,
off guard,
yeah.
right?
Because-
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Exactly like Ink said. May just
Okay.
doesn't even realize it's happening.
He grabs her by the shoulder, pulls her back. You just feel yourself, like, your back slam against what seems to be a solid wall as Sinner tries to pull you out and just, like, has to let you go. And he
right.
sees that you're stuck, and he goes, May's in there, and Fish is in there. We need options. And he's going to come over and start engaging this animated armor. That is May's turn with Metal on deck.
Okay. I'm gonna now that May's right up close to the skeleton, she's gonna do another symbol check to see what the options might be in terms of releasing the creature, binding it, like whatever. Just trying to come up with options.
You got it.
So I'm gonna. Yep.
If I can give any sort of advantage or
I love
help
that.
action, it would be brilliant. Even if it's just Fish going like, yeah, I don't know any of these.
You can give the help action. That would be your action for your turn when it comes up.
I accept this.
Okay. Roll with advantage.
So I rolled twice then, don't I?
Yep, and take whichever's
Okay,
higher.
good. Because my first roll was a 10 and I was not pleased. Okay, that's a 15 plus 3 for Arcana, 18.
Okay. With an 18, you see a couple of places where you could just kind of interrupt the symbols, shutting down some of the binding. Maybe that weakens it enough that this creature, by like strength, can like force its way out. You can also see some like minor changes you could make that would kind of create just like a very small hole in the armor that this thing could flow out of, just a little spot that this thing could be released from, without kind of damaging the integrity of the sealing device itself, which potentially, theoretically, could give you like a period of time while this thing escapes to like redo your position and try to trap like part of it back in the skeleton. But you're kind of unsure about how the power of this thing factors into it, because you do know that, like, you know, sufficiently powerful beings can kind of like override symbols in a kind of way, just kind of use their just raw energy to kind of burn them out. So you don't know how that would factor in, but you do think that you could change the symbols enough to kind of let it out into this larger, at least out of the skeleton, into this larger sealing circle.
May turns to Fish and says, I can either let it out a little bit or let it out entirely, but we're going to be stuck in here with it, and I do suspect that it might possess us.
Then I guess a little bit. Hey man, you're
Cool.
gonna possess us, right? Wait, can it be me? Like, I feel like we're friends now.
Are you actually trying to talk to it?
No. No. Fish canonically says you're gonna try and possess us, right? But not like as a legitimate attempt at communication. Just like, yeah, I think a little bit is for the best.
Okay, so May's going to do that then. She has a little Swiss army tool.
Yeah,
Her
your Swiss
enchanted
army
tools,
tool.
yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
you. I think it actually looks like a multi-tool, like a pair
Exactly
of pocket
how- yeah.
pliers, but you just kind of unfold it, and it's like, okay, we've got a full-size chisel that's like far
That's whatever I
too
needed to do.
too big to fit in a folding multi-tool. And I'll just kind of take that and start chiseling away at the symbol. Yeah, because that symbol check was high enough, I can say you just do that.
What can I do for a bonus action? Is there anything I can do for a bonus action in this instance? Sorry for the
I
random
would say
questions.
as a bonus action, you could hit the switch that is like sealing you in this circle. Kind of take away all of the security if you wanted to.
I'm not going to do that, but that's good to know. What I am actually going to do for my bonus action is on the multiple, like, party channel thing that I set up with the sending stones. I'm going to inform the group this is what's happening. And to
Hey
be ready.
guys.
Hey guys,
Or I can open up the fish. Oh, whatever.
Kekano sobbing. Fish has something to say.
yeah,
And
through the sending stones, and Kekano is also there with Cal. You could just tell everyone, hey, this is what's happening. There's been kind of a change of plans, you know.
And then can I, in a private channel to Sinner, because he also has one of my sending stones. May says, this could go very bad. Be ready. Because you might have to kill one of us. And then that's it.
Sinner has the ability to respond to you, right? When you
Yeah.
send a message, you can send it back.
Yeah.
He says, boss, I freely admit, no idea what the fuck is happening, anything here. This is insane. But I am ready. I am ready to do what needs to be done to kill one of the others.
That's not what I said, Sinner. I heard you might have to kill either me or Fish.
And he just doesn't respond.
Yeah, anyway. Next person's turn.
If I may, real quick. Whose turn? Wait, whose turn is it? I don't want to
It's gonna
interrupt
be
anyone.
Metal's turn with Isle on deck.
No, it's fine.
Well, goodness. I was going to do that, but I don't want to. So I think
I will say you also don't know that kind of like the fighting has stopped. This
yeah.
animated armor has come up on you, and last time
Megalovania is still playing.
Yeah, how
Yeah.
am I to know?
That we
like,
never had the music.
is it not going? Does it look like it's not attacked? Like not coming at me at all?
it doesn't look like it's being threatening at this moment, but it did like just try to hit you a minute ago.
True.
So you know, you haven't gotten like word. You've gotten the sending stone being like, hey, we're gonna try to kind of like free this thing. You didn't hear like, oh, they're not gonna attack us while we're doing that.
True.
So you could also, you know, run away. You could focus on the door.
Yeah. Okay. Hold on a second.
A metagame. I would love if you could start hitting the wall for me, Mads.
The wall?
The wall.
Like-
Patrick said the wall is damaged.
Yo, oh yes, over there. That's what I mean,
I
that's
would
what I
love you to hit the wall.
that's what I want to do.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, please do that because I can do something with that.
Yeah, okay. Well. Okay. Okay. Well, I'd like to run away from this guy that's in front of me.
Okay, you will take an attack of opportunity if you're okay with that.
Yeah. Because I want to go over there and investigate and hopefully be able to do something about it.
Then you are going to run over. Let's get that opportunity attack. That is a nat 1. The animated armor looks like it was going to just come up and maybe grab you, or is just kind of like moving towards you. It fully, like, one of its knees buckles and it just falls to the ground, but it's no prone.
She's like,
way,
"Oh, great!" Just keeps running.
you can get to here, and then you'll need to take a your action to move farther if you
Okay.
want to see more. You can see.
What do I see?
Hold on.
Who is drawing?
You can see.
Whoa! How cool is that? Okay. Look at that. Whoa. I mean, I would love to, I guess, keep running and look over there and do like a
Use
like
your
a
action to run.
perception. Yeah, and like investigate if I can do it at the same time. But yeah.
There has been this sound that is not Megalovania that has been there's a sound that has not been Megalovania that you've heard in the background since you entered this place. And
Have
as you
we?
get closer, yes, I kept saying there was this very soft, like, sound in the background, and
Oh.
it gets louder and louder and louder as you approach this hole.
I don't like
And
it.
you see. Bum, 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 bum. Here.
I'm scared. I don't like these sounds.
Stop. There we go. As in front of you, a giant chasm seems to have opened in the middle of these ruins, and it has fallen into the ground.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
this dark, incredibly large crevice that just goes deep into the earth, and you can hear the sound of perhaps a hidden river somewhere at the bottom. This sound that you're hearing that is now so loud is you can't see it from where you're standing, but somewhere over here seems to be launching arrows of some kind, projectiles or something, and they're flying across this way and seemingly slamming into some target over here that you can't see.
What the hell?
It just looks like something that's like... It could be a trap. It could just also be, this place is malfunctioning pretty heavily after this long.
Huh.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's your turn unless you want to take any bonus actions.
I don't really have any that I would want to do. I think when she's like panicking, like running over here, like we have to get out of here, and like I think she probably like runs up to this and almost like falls over the, runs so close up to the edge and is like, oh my god. And then I think she'll just use the sending stone and be like, guys, there's like a whole thing over here.
Oh, bueno.
A thing of what?
There's like a big hole in the ground.
Wonderful. Great.
Alright,
You found
what's going on?
any other sort of access to any other room?
I mean, unless you want to jump in the big hole, I don't know. How are you guys doing?
Bad. It's bad.
Oh, you know what I do have is I do have Become Wind. So I mean, we could potentially get over there, but yeah, I mean, I might have a way to go over it if you can't find anything better than the chasm, but just let me know.
Give me a perception check.
Okay.
God.
14. Why is it so hard? 14.
With a 14, you can see that even though it falls pretty severely, there might be enough handholds in the rock to very carefully, climbing above the abyss, climb out and around this wall into this piece of hallway, or around this wall into whatever is over here.
Oh, jeez Louise.
It wouldn't be fast necessarily, but it could be a way out.
Yeah, Metal's like, I mean, also, I guess if you guys were good at climbing, maybe we could try this. And just passes that on. Colliginous measuring.
I'm like,
Panics measuring.
walk, baby.
Yep.
Oh yeah, yeah, and Cinder
with
can help it
your
too.
Perception check, you also see that this was clearly like a central hallway right here that no longer exists. Right here, kind of about halfway across, there is a little spire that seems to be attached to maybe what was a little bit of roof from the original hallway. Everything else being destroyed. So there's not ground you could get to, but if you could, like, maybe adhere yourself to a surface or find a really, like, good grappling hook location,
Grappling hook!
you might be able to get here. But you can see it's very precarious. And there does seem to be symbols on this little piece of ceiling.
Okay, yeah.
I'm symbols that are glowing, not like the symbols that are actively on everything.
Yeah, Metal is just explaining all of that. And being like, Colliginous, what does it mean? And then, yeah.
Oh no!
Colliginous, have the answers.
Colliginous symbols? Help.
I'm not good at that. That's Fish, who's determined to be suicidal.
What?
Fish and May are trying to kill themselves. I'm trying not to think about it.
But yeah, that's Metal's turn, I guess.
All
You're
right.
a necromancer. You should be supporting us.
It's all happening over the phone, so I keep talking.
The skeleton demon's like, can y'all just, like, let me out? Why do you keep talking?
Yeah. Well, it is now Isle's turn with the armor on deck. You want to try to hit these things, or you want to try to free yourself? Or again, if you shift, you're much more likely to.
Whatever, man. I'll fucking shift. I don't give a shit.
All right. Give me
I'm gonna
a
die right now, but
give me a dexterity or athletics. Sorry, a acrobatics or athletics check with advantage.
in my with wolf stats or with Isle stats?
With wolf stats.
Okay. Okay. 19. I rolled a
Okay.
2 and a 16, so thank goodness it was with advantage.
Yeah, with a 19, you get out. You just you manage to just really thrash as a wolf, and then transform, becoming a completely different shape. And you just manage to like kick out pieces of plate metal as you roll out. And yeah, you are free. What are you gonna do?
Let's see, how far can I
That
go?
is your action.
Can I move still?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I think she's. Oh, but if I get out, I'll probably be attack of opportunity, maybe. Well,
You-
no, because they're.
You have seen that these creatures have not really been taking attacks of opportunity on these people by the symbols. You know, Cal may get
Yeah.
one, you may get one. I don't think you can see that Metal would have gotten one. But
Yeah.
it seems like this thing is not punishing you for getting close to it.
Okay. I think will want to probably be in between and a little further ahead of Animated Armor 6 and Cal. I think
Like
she
here?
would want to go, yeah. Like, she wants to go all the way to Fish and everything up here, but she's like, I'm not leaving I'm not leaving my future wife and stepson alone. So,
You got it. All right. Any Oh no. Sorry. Your transformation was your bonus action. You still have an action.
oh, you're right. No. I feel like she would try to punch something.
Okay. You got your big new glaive too.
I do. Oh. And then, I'm assuming no attacks of opportunity when I ran up there?
Nope.
Party. I guess, can I ready an action? I think if she notices that she
Yeah.
didn't get an attack of opportunity, she'll just be ready to be like, what the fuck
Absolutely.
you
You
doing?
just lift up the glaive. You're ready to attack. What
Yeah.
will trigger your attack?
Can I say two things? One would be if she is attacked. Two would be if she hears an explosion come from skeleton side.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. If you're attacked or there's an explosion, you will attack this animated armor 6 right in front of you. You got it.
Actually, can I say if either Cal or I are attacked?
Yeah.
Or is no? Is it illegal? Okay, cool.
You got it. Then that is the armor's turn with Fish on deck. The armor is going to try to kind of surround and push. Make kind of a solid wall here. Yeah. Animated Armor 7 and Animated Armor 6 are actually going to make some attacks. They are shove attacks, which do not do damage. They just move you.
Damn.
Which I'm pretty sure the one on Isle succeeds, and the one on Cal does not. Let me just double check. So I don't know if you need to roll anything. Oh, okay. Yeah, I need Caligulus and Isle to roll a acrobatics or athletics.
Seven.
7?
Yep.
Advantage. Just double checking advantage with Kekano.
If you want to use Kekano for advantage, you can.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Thank God. 19.
You see that armor number 7 like clanks up and puts its hands out like it's going to shove you, and Kekano goes, "Why did the chicken necromancer cross the road?" And then the armor's just kind of like, "What?" And then just kind of like misses and like knocks into the one next to him. The animated armor 6 though does shove Isle. Isle, you get pushed back 5 feet, and then that is an attack, so you get to immediately retaliate with your big old glaive. Give me an attack roll.
That's a 14 hit.
14 does not hit, but you are also leaving. Oh no, because you were moved against your will. Yeah, so that doesn't matter. Yeah, 14 does not hit. Oh,
Well, I swing.
did you roll a
threateningly.
14 or 14 total?
14 total.
Okay. Yeah,
I rolled a 9.
you swing out and manage to just kind of clip this thing, but doesn't get through the armor. You know, the angle's kind of off.
Yeah.
That is Fish's turn with Cow on deck, and I think once we get to the dark spirit again, if nothing else happens, we'll kind of be out of combat and see what happens.
Fish is not attacking. They are, turning
you
to the
see-
dark spirit. Oh,
yeah, you
go on.
see that now that May has recarved these symbols, the dark spirit, which is kind of hanging out in the head, starts like leaking out, almost like a tear, just running down this giant face, and is starting to form kind of a pool next to you. It doesn't seem like it's particularly advanced in the process. It hasn't gotten very far, but it is kind of like leaving.
Leaving. Oh,
Leaving
right.
the
Getting.
skull. Yeah.
Yep, gotcha. Okay. I'm gonna stick my hand in it.
In the
No.
in kind of the shadow.
Sure.
All right, cool. That was the wrong button.
Boomerang.
Don't fucking touch me!
You put your hand in kind of the physical manifestation of this being, and it feels very cold. You know, it's sort of flame-like in its appearance. These kind of black and purple flames, but it doesn't burn. It's just very cold, and you feel it come back into your mind, and it's almost asking for permission. And you see in your mind's eye the flames appear in this kind of mental space where you are, and it's just you and it this time, no May. But the last thing before you kind of morphed into the space is seeing the flames start to suck into your fingertips as you touch it. Oh. Well, Fish, it looks like you kept your word so far. Now I just need a new vessel to walk on out of here. I will admit, no, that's a scary prospect, but I am going to attach to your soul. Begin consuming it. But if I drink you up, I'll die too. So why don't we come to an agreement here? I will do what I can not to hurt you, to give you answers, guide you through this place. All you need to do is give me little pieces of yourself. What do you say?
If you don't hurt the people I care about,
I don't intend to, but I think that's more up to you than it is to me. Once we join, be a bit of a time limit. Get me a new body. If things are running slow, don't have things run slow, fish. But other than that, no harm from me.
I'll get you a body.
Yours?
For now.
And it's agreed.
Deal.
You feel this sort of entrance into your mind as you've given this thing permission, as it connects a little more closely with you, and the featureless landscape you're in starts to change. Becomes a room, a parlor, your mother's parlor, one of the houses that you grew up in. But you realize pretty quickly it's not a real place. It's formed from memories. There's the furniture you recognize, but on the bookshelves, not the familiar books that you grew up with. They each have different titles. Titles like Childhood, Early Math, Kekino, Teacher. Your memories, who you are, spread out in this cognitive space, and crouching over all of it, burning on it, but without consuming it, this roiling, oily, black and purple flame. And now, here's what we're going to do. Because you and I, Inc., are now going to gamble.
Oh.
This entity requires a certain amount of your being, your person, in order to sustain and establish itself. You can give freely, or it can take. So the way this is going to work is I am going to roll a 2d8 to determine how much this creature needs of you. I'm not going to tell you what number I rolled, but with 2d8, it can be any number between 2 and 16, but mathematically, 9 is the average.
Gotcha.
You choose a number, whatever number you want, and you will then roll that number of d4s and take the damage listed. So if you roll 10, could be 10 damage. That's fine. It's a lot of health. It could be 40 damage, which is enough to not just take you out, but kill you entirely. No saving throws. For like max damage at 10 10 dice. If you are shorter than what he has rolled, this DC that he has set, this being will consume parts of your being to make up the difference. You will start losing who you are, important memories, things like that. And it won't be like the Ghost Eater where they may come back. These will be essentially burned. If you do too much, he may give you a boon for sort of being so generous. But that's what's going to happen. So, let us set that DC that you need to meet or beat. All right. As I said, it is 2d8, so the average is 9. Choose how many d4s you're going to roll.
Well, I'm holding 4 in my hand. So 4.
Okay, if you're too low, it is going to consume you. It's sort of risking your body versus risking your mind. Body's fixable. Mind, maybe not so much.
Yeah, hold on. 4's not good. I'm gonna have to go get another one. Or maybe will I...
You just roll multiple times. Or I can roll for you. I have
I roll.
Out.
It's my thing.
Separated out a
Patrick, no.
nice little pile of d4s for this eventuality.
Okay. Can I ask the class for their thoughts?
Sure.
Class? How many d4s should it be?
My brain is broken. I'm just focusing on what I can do as Cal, which is that I still have my healing spells. I can go for the soul knife, blah, blah, blah. I would say do something safe enough that I'm not worried about you being completely obliterated.
Okay, how about I roll my 4 twice, so 8.
Okay. If you want to do 8 total.
Yes, and I'll just grab... You know what? I'm gonna make you all fucking wait for me to grab the pen and paper so I can accurately tally it up.
This is fucked.
And I go next. Oh yeah. Patrick, I go next?
Yeah, but you go next. And then the Swarms, and then the Dark Spirit. But
oh my God.
Fish decided to touch it early, so we'll resolve this.
Yep, okay.
Hi, Ink, in the
I go
recording.
next, y'all. I go next.
I'm so fucking glad that Ink took the leap without me doing something. I don't want to be to blame.
Oh boyo.
Vienna, are you doing okay?
Like, no.
It's gonna be fine. I'm confident. I'm confident in my necromancer.
Okay.
You're confident that 8 rolls is enough?
I'm ignoring Patrick. I'm confident in my necromancer.
Are we
I
watching
built
this
her like this
happen?
for a reason.
Alright,
Roll
am I giving you this number privately?
Yeah, sure.
I can't bear to hear it.
Ooh.
Everything's
You are
fine.
seeing Fish kind of kneeling down and touching this shadow, and then watching it kind of get like sucked and funneled up into their hand.
Oh my god, Metal's not even over here.
Metal's like, ooh, guys, look at this hole.
All right, I will narrate what happens then.
Oh fuck.
Just no, I'm screaming in the background. I'm muted, but I'm screaming.
As Fish decides to give of themselves to this creature, this being gives their thoughts, feelings, emotions, the strength of their body, pieces of their soul. The flames start to shrink, become a little bit more cohesive, condense. You see them sliding off of the armchairs, the mantelpiece, leaving Fish's mother's little knickknacks alone as it sort of coalesces more and more. almost complete when the flames start biting into some of the books, as you didn't give quite enough. At the last moment, this entity condenses, coalesces into a vaguely humanoid body. 2 arms, 2 legs, although seemingly more suggested out of this roiling flame. And instead of a head, just a spiraling ball of fire. And then a mouth, too large, full of sharp teeth, and no eyes, no structure of what you could see eyes. You know this is entirely a mental construct, but it smiles at you.
Feel better.
Fish. Much better. As 3 books come off the shelf behind you and burn
Which ones?
and disappear. Give me in this moment a perception check.
17.
You see the name of a childhood friend completely wiped from your mind, as if they never existed in your life. You see a particular day when the teacher gave you the day off in town, a little bit of spending money, a break from your training, have some fun, totally and completely gone. And then there's one left, and its title is just The Photo. You remember in this room, actually, over in the armoire when you were really young. One day you were exploring, your mom was out, you were unsupervised, you pulled open a drawer and you found a photo. Pretty rough condition, clearly a bit old, of your mother as a younger woman, standing with a man. Maori man. Do you remember that when you closed the door as your mom was coming home, you scurried off, you almost got caught, or maybe you did, because the next time you came in, tried the drawer, it wasn't there. You never saw it again. You remember all of these things with clarity as this book falls off the shelf, pages start to burn, spine hits the ground, and it opens up, and you see in the double spread this photo. The face of the man entirely burned away before the rest of the photo is consumed, and you have no memory of ever seeing the face of your father.
I didn't need that anyway.
You and this being are now one. And all of you watch as Fish takes in this shadow, starts to stand. May still sees that just this crack that you've left has allowed just this very narrow stream out. But as Fish stands, it starts to get sucked into their lungs. Just a moment, Fish's eyes burst into black flame. they breathe black flame. You hear in a voice that is not Fish, enough! Enough. All of the animated armor, everything else in the room stops. You are now bonded to this entity. It will consume you slowly. Because you were one short of the 9 that it had rolled, you take that damage that you rolled, but you did not go down, and therefore this creature was able to stop the enemies from continuing to attack as they were about to if this was not successful. This thing will be able to speak with you mentally, give you advice, give you insight and things like that. It will also start burning away your soul. Every 2 hours that you have this creature inside of you, your maximum hit point will decrease by 1 every 2 hours. That is possibly reversible. Maybe not. But it will just start to eat away at you. And if you get to a maximum hit points of 0, nothing can revive you.
That makes sense.
Yep. And additionally, you have the opportunity to manifest this thing more fully. It can help you solve puzzles. It can speak through your mouth to other creatures. You can choose to essentially let it be in the driver's seat for a little while, and it will help you. However, that will cost 1 maximum hit point every time you manifest that. So there's a countdown to it.
Mm-hmm.
But this being claims to know all of this information. It can tell you a lot of that information privately. It might be able to just solve puzzles or disable security or things for you, but that may require manifesting it. You can also feel that this being is a passenger in your body because it chooses to be. Now that it is inside you, you have the full understanding that this being is not a faceless one. It is in the same weight class as a faceless one. And if it wanted to take you over and control you like a puppet, if it wanted to snuff you out of existence in a moment, it could, and it is choosing not to. But it will not necessarily be patient forever. So for right now, while you still have all of your maximum hit points, it is a passenger. It's not going to interfere unless you really do something to upset it or work against its goals. By the time you get to half of your maximum hit point, you will be far more remnant-like. You will be much more callous, much less caring about these people around you. By the time you're to 25% of your maximum hit points, you will fully push metal into a spike trap if it is faster to deactivate it that way than going around and pressing the button. This thing is willing to work with you, looking forward to working with you, excited to working with you. It's still incredibly dangerous. And with that, it merely speaks to you and says, why don't we get started, you know? Why don't you just hit that symbol there and let us out? We'll start working on this.
One question for you.
Of course.
What's your name?
once we get
You
to-
do now,
Oh,
Jonas.
Jonas, the dark being of hatred and violence. That seems appropriate. I like that, Jonas. I will hopefully receive a true name once I've been given a new vessel. But that's for later. For now, let's get out of here. Let's get your friends to safety.
Let's.
Can I do a thing?
It is still Fish's turn. Fish has an action left to be able
Okay.
to choose to open the shield or not.
We're gonna open the shield.
The shield opens. You watch you watch the kind of glow from there immediately go dead as the last tendrils of this being escape from the skeleton. And May, with your previous symbol and arcana checks, I think you see that not all of it goes into Fish. It is clearly kind of like shed what it needed to fit in a smaller vessel. There's a certain amount of shadow and its energy that kind of goes into the wall in the symbol paths and destroys them. Just destroys each one. The wall, all the symbols on the wall just burst. And once the shield is gone, every single one of the animated armors and swarm of axes collapses. Every single one just ceases to exist as an independent entity and is now a pile of junk. And that's Fish. Fish is free. We are now out of initiative. Cal can do whatever she wants.
Bring back the music.
Okay, just a really quick break, just to dance out our feelings.
Everything is awful. Play.
Hey,
Cool.
I thought I was crying for real.
oh no. Cal is going to, as stealthily as she can, so I would like to also roll her with a stealth roll, back up and then do a shadow step to the table that the soul knife was fell under.
Okay, cool. That's kind of across the room, but you remember where Fish kicked it. You
Mhm.
grabbed it. Roll me a stealth check so Fish doesn't notice you leaving.
Yep. Oh, that was not great. That was a 7.
7 is excuse me. 7 is high enough that low enough rather. Ooh. I gotta stop drinking water and talking at the same time. It's not good for me.
It's definitely high enough. You meant it was high enough. That's what you meant in your heart.
No, it's low enough that Fish fully sees you teleport away. Doesn't see where you go. That's kind
Yeah.
of out of the eye line, but knows that you're not there for a moment.
Cool. Picks up the knife.
Kenya, I need my
What's it?
son.
I'll bring him. One moment. Picks up the knife, pockets
think-
it.
I think Kekino fully jumps off your shoulder and is
Yeah,
heading
absolutely.
for Fish as soon as the shield is down. Dad!
Oh,
Yeah.
buddy. Oh, sweetheart. Oh,
It's so scary. Why?
She's gonna, and you guys can still calculate the scene, but she's gonna pocket the knife and then she's gonna walk back and then just like very, neutral veil. I'm gonna just want to do an arcana to see how much I'm picking up of what fucking just went down.
Yeah, sure. Make an Arcana check. In fact, everybody can make an Arcana check to try to figure out what happened to
Can
Fish.
you give me the help action because they do
Can
have
I-
+9. Yeah, I was like, I think I would love if someone who has low Arcana, just give me the help action instead. Are you
I
allowing
can do
that?
that.
Mr.
yeah.
Patrick?
I mean,
Thank you.
I mean, yeah. Isle has ran to Fish at this point. Isle's right behind Kekano.
Yeah.
Metal's
Cool, excellent.
poking on over.
The 26 for me.
Metal's like, hey guys, what happened?
Why do you look upset? What's the matter?
I found this big hole.
Would have loved it if we had gone that way.
Anybody is May rolling with me? Did you roll Ellie?
Let me have a crack. I don't think it'll be as good as yours, though.
You're not 20.
Maybe not. 22.
Slay.
Okay. 22, 26. What did everybody else get?
I got a 19.
19.
Now
I
the
was
rolls
rolling
are
to
good.
help.
Yeah,
Or I
of
thought I
course.
was
Yeah.
giving my.
You were-
No.
You were giving
you
yours
did,
to
Vienna.
Moody. Okay, cool.
You distracted Fish by running over, and she was like, "Thank you."
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you all gather around Fish, Metal, because you didn't see a lot of the things that happened, you kind of just get the tail end of like something really scary and magic happened to Fish, and you're not really sure what, but everybody seems very concerned. Sinner rolled high enough on his Arcana check that he understands that Fish is a threat and is so going to immediately try to put his body between May and Fish and kind of like back May
Hot.
up out of the way.
Fucking sexy.
God damn.
And with a 22, you get that this entity is in Fish now. There are some beings that can kind of like enter a person and use them as a conduit to go to like some of the other planes or something like that. So you're not 100% sure it's like in Fish right now, as opposed to like using Fish as a stepping stone. But you think it's probably still in there and stayed in Fish, but it seems to not necessarily be in control. Like, you know that remnants can often disguise like their black veins and such. That's an incredibly low level possession. Going off of your previous history check, possessions are very often kind of obvious, and Fish just looks tired and kind of injured and broken and not possessed. With a 26, you get the same thing. You are certain this thing has not left and is still in Fish.
Okay.
Patrick, do either myself or does May or Cal have a sense of the cost?
I don't think they do. I think they
I
just
would-
know that a very powerful being is in Fish and has chosen not to take them over. I think both of you with that Arcana get a read that it's like, oh, this thing could absolutely dominate and destroy Fish if it wanted to.
I'm going to also come up to Fish and like very like complete opposite of how they were just yelling at each other just like, 3 minutes ago. She's gonna put a hand up and she says, may I heal you?
Kekano was
Aw.
like on your shoulder, just being like, Dad, I'm sorry, that was so scary. It was so scary. Yes, Colliginous, heal him. Yes. Dad, take the medicine.
You don't have to apologize for anything. You haven't done anything wrong. You've done plenty right. And hey, Denya,
Mm-hmm.
why did the not necromancer cross the line of the thing? It wasn't. No, it was a bad setup. Yes, please heal me. Yeah.
Of course. And she's gonna go up and I do a cure wounds, and if you would allow me, Patrick, I'm going to say that while she's doing that, she's going to also just be like feeling out with her magic of being like, I'm aiming for this physical body and healing. What am I feeling when I'm like laying magic on it? And Ink, do you have any particular place you want Cal to put her hand?
I
would say the left hand. If it was
they
the
are
left hand.
Maybe they've like offered, they're holding out their hand just as they're
Mhm.
talking, but she takes it to be like, oh, here.
Yeah, with gloved fingers, she grabs the last three fingers of Fish's left hand, and then I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds.
Yep. Give me the healing roll and also an Arcana check.
Yep. Ooh, love being the spooky bitch. What does my fucking DA look like? I'm so stressed.
You're killing
That's
it,
not a
buddy.
D8.
You're killing it.
I'm
Your
not a
D8
D8.
is the double pyramid, the
Double
little
pyramid.
diamondy guy.
It's not this one because that's the D10. Oh my god. Oh my god.
They look similar.
Okay. I got it.
Honestly, I think May needs the cure wounds way more than Fish. They only lost 4 points.
Yeah, but Cal's trying to be
I'll
sneaky.
for the story.
You can get the healing point. Cal needs to put magic on Fish, and that was my thoughts. Spellcasting ability modifiers. Okay, so that's 5. So you're back up.
Hooray! Plus
Okay.
1, even.
Yep. Now I'm gonna do my Arcana. Any chance of getting a help action for this?
No. I think this is entirely private and
Isle
internal.
crying over Isle's
Yeah.
tears.
It's Isle crying.
Please,
I-
yep. Fish has not ignored Isle at all. They've been, oh, hey, yeah, hi.
Isle's like, I'm assuming if she saw the flame, she's like grabbing Fish's eyes and be like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Are you in there? Like, what the fuck?
Opening the mouth. Ah!
Yeah. Get out of there!
Oh my god, okay, so we've gone to 0 affection to 100 affection.
Cal is ignoring all of this. No mind. If anything, it like looks like grateful for it. And just holding on to their hand. And I got a 23 for Arcana.
Okay. While Isle is examining Fish, Kekino is also right in there, like kind of rolling against Fish and be like, I love you, but also being like, yeah, get in that eye. What do you see? Is there bad things in there?
For a guy in there.
What's in their mouth? It was so weird. With your 23 Arcana, you feel that when you heal Fish for just a moment, it like doesn't absorb in as if something is stopping you, and then something chooses to allow your magic to absorb into Fish, and that is your first kind of like confirmation of like this being in there and being cognizant. And more than a sound, you just feel a smile as this thing allows you to heal Fish, and you also feel like a little bit of a buzzing on the edge of your senses when you sense Fish. This being, as you're doing this Arcana check, this being is associated with whatever was animating these armor, these like little splinters of like soul or something that you were feeling from this from these enemies, this kind of like not undead but like something having to do with spirit, like some kind of something from beyond the veil animating these things. You now understand that that was coming from this thing, and that this thing is whatever it is at least kind of partially a being of spirit or soul, the way a ghost would be, but it doesn't feel like a ghost. It feels like a ghost very scary, weird cousin.
Okay. She takes this all in, no expression, no reaction. As she's doing the healing, I think her like gloved thumb crosses Fish's knuckles, and then she just drops their hand and just steps back, lets like Isle and Kekano do their loving on them, and just kind of like
check the fingers. It was going into fingers.
and
Child's like,
yeah, just steps back, just sort of like quietly touches the pockets that she put the knife in, and just like pillar of fabric, nothing indicating her current mood or anything like that. Hands in front of her, kind of probably just turns to watch, as I'm assuming at this point now, like Metal has caught up and is like careening in and like screaming and crying. And I think she's just watches Fish and Kekano and Isle, watches Metal, and then looks at the two outsiders, and then just gives like a nod of acknowledgement to May, and then just silence.
Sinner still has you kind of like boxed out and like taking a couple steps away from them, of just like getting himself between you, and you can see that his fists are not retracted. He still has his gauntlets out, like he expects Fish or someone to immediately attack, and he looks very confused but also deeply concerned.
Okay. Wait, so is he just in front of me but to the sides, like she can look?
Yeah,
sort of,
you can sort of like get a peek around kind of like the side of his chest or something, or like wave over his shoulder or something.
Yeah, okay. So May puts her hand let's say on his back as to bring his focus to her. And then says, "Stand down, Sinner. It's okay." And then
he
looks
very
again.
quietly says to you, "You said I might have to kill you or Fish. Do I?"
And then May like whispers back like, "You might still
We didn't pick up. Pick up your mic.
Sorry,
you know what
May
she
whis-
said.
Yeah.
May
For the
whispers to
recording!
Sinner, "You might still have to, but for now, stand down."
Holy shit.
I think
He doesn't like kind of fully release you, but he does kind of like stand a little bit more to the side. So like almost like he wanted to be like, "Okay, I'll stand off," and couldn't bring himself to do it. So you still have to kind of walk around him a little bit to get free. But yeah.
one
As
more
May
Cal.
does-
I was gonna say one more Cal moment, if you allow me. She's gonna go over and I think just sort of recognize, as she's watching that conversation, what bad shape May is in, and she's going to go in and she says, I can heal you as well." And put her hands out to heal May as well. May is gonna get 9 hit points.
That is fantastic.
Yeah, and then as she's leaning in, I think she probably puts her hand on May's shoulder, and she'll whisper, "Was it worth it, Miss Gladly?"
I think May doesn't respond, but May will.
And Cal walks away.
Yeah. The answer is yes, it was.
Cal's murder list grows 2 names.
Oh my god. Can Metal jump in here? She's gonna, she's like bounding in, kind of like takes in what's happening. I think immediately is just like clutching like her chest, like with one hand, and the other hand is like braced on the wall, and I was like, "What's going on? Fish, are you okay? What's going on? What happened?"
Oh, I'm fine. Bit tired.
Fine.
I'm kind of tired. I might have to I don't know, go have a nap with my good old friend Kit up there.
I think Metal's gonna just take in like the Isle and Kekino losing their shit. And the other two like braced off on the side, and she's gonna like, tears might be like, forming, and she's gonna look to Caligulus like, what do we do?
We continue on. Clearly, the entire point of this is Miss Gladly's pursuit of knowledge. What else
Yeah,
would
you
we
don't need
do
me for
except
that.
continue? Fish, would you like any of us to accompany you back to camp?
Well, look, I know you
Isle
love my
says,
boy and all.
I'm going.
Good. Thank you.
Yeah.
And she gives
s-
like Isle like reaches way up to give a pat on the shoulder.
I'll take my boy with me as well. Although, say goodbye to this is a deliberate wording. Say goodbye to Caligulus.
Oi,
I feel it.
Caligulus.
Like,
Al puts her like forehead against Kakano's. We can get to it later, but Kakano probably picks up quite a lot from that nuzzle.
All right. Catch you later. I'm tired.
I think Metal's gonna like reach out and be like, wait, hold on. Can we stay together? I think we need to leave. I don't know what's going on, but
How
I'm
many more
scared.
people do you want possessed, Miss Gladly? We don't know how many skeletons are in here.
I'm not possessed.
Metal's like,
I don't think
you seem a
you've
little
had better
possessed.
lies, Fish. More convincing ones.
I'm not possessed.
Not the rolls.
Roll deception. 18. Okay, you believe me now.
Jesus Christ.
You believe
I
me?
like my Arcana!
If we saw
No, I just did that to be funny.
Yeah, I could get. It would be funny if Sinner's like, oh, all right.
Yeah.
Sinner's like, actually,
Okay.
this is fine.
Sinner has kind of like allowed his gauntlets to retract. Still looking very kind of skittish around you all, but is like, why don't we maybe head back to camp and sort of rest and recover, or do we push forward? I don't know. This was a lot.
How many hit points will Fish conceivably leave if we go back to camp?
It is one
leave, rather.
maximum per 2 hours, so you can absolutely just like go and hang out in camp. But it's obviously going to take some time to get through the ruins. I will say that the entity is Jonas is
Jonas.
pushing you towards deeper into the ruins. You do get the sense of being like, I think you get the sense of like any human body is inherently temporary, and so he could go from person to person like a virus, but he needs something more permanent.
Yeah, so my thoughts are that there's going to be a construct further in.
Yeah, that we attach.
Can we speed run this shit and get down there in time?
I have a
So
cap.
It's in
There's
the
a
bottom.
chasm.
It's in the bottom of the cavern.
There's a chasm.
We're going to use the grappling hook and then just kind of rappel down.
We're gonna
into
grappling hook the fuck
chasm.
out of that.
But yeah, you can absolutely go back to camp, rest, have a meal, maybe get some hit points back and stuff. But that is time out of a bank of time that there is not a ton of. I will say,
Plus-
somewhat unfortunately, Fish is the member of the party with the least amount of hit points.
Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
Also, don't forget Kitsune is going to be back in camp, and we're going to have to get back into the ruins without
Well,
him
we
coming
give-
through.
We give Jonas to Kitsune.
And then we let
And
that
then
happen.
it's not
Okay,
a problem
well, since you
anymore.
suggested it, that's my plan. That was
Yeah.
my plan.
Ah,
I was thinking
Kitsune
that.
would love it It would be great. It'd be a
Yeah.
symbiotic relationship.
Maybe
But
he could take
if
care
we
of it.
want- well, do we have faith that Kitsune will? I don't know. Oh my god. I
I
just feel like
will.
we have to find the robot in the middle of the ruins and get him in there and then blow up the robot.
You're so
I'm
right.
also considering and this shows how much Cal cares. She's gonna call Tinnitus and ask for advice, even if he's gonna
Damn.
call a heretic for it.
God.
Are you calling right at this moment while
No,
everyone's
I would like us to make a
doing this?
decision because Cal is waiting, but she's also like, I need to come up with an excuse to privately walk away and do this
Yeah.
out of earshot of Fish.
We maybe have a short
Well,
rest, and then-
Fish will have a
Um,
chat with Jonas to be like, "Hey, we going back?" Or like, "I have a nice juicy body up there for you
Vessel.
to." No, like, nah. You should see this dude. I saw him with my Eldritch sight before. I could see him through the fucking tent walls. You know, he's powerful as shit. Me, I'm
He
just
can go
a guy.
invisible. He eats banana peels.
Much better body suited for you.
Tour de
I'm
force.
just, you
He's
know, the
hotter.
car. I'm just the little car from the airport to the resort.
And
The shuttle.
Uber.
Shuttle.
I appreciate you offering me a morsel. That's very kind of you. I think we will keep Kitsune, was it? We'll keep him in reserve in case you start to.
Once
go
you're done with me,
low.
I get it.
You do have some.
I go through
addition-
bodies too.
Yeah. You do have some additional benefits in the way of these others assisting you that I'm not sure this Kitsune would have. But there's always time later. We reach some roadblocks. I have been stuck in that room for millennia now.
You said. I did
The-
hear you the first time.
The
Mhm.
way to my permanent vessel would be relatively straightforward, provided there's been no major changes in the facility in that time, and I'm sure there has been. Would be some challenges up ahead.
Well, fuck it. Let's keep on going with that tour, and we'll get you to where you need to be going.
Hmm.
Jonas, my friend.
Oh, yes, we are friends, Fish. It's good that you know that.
I'm friends with everyone.
Then you know that you are always kind to your friends, just not your enemies.
Did they have this saying millennia ago that you keep your enemies closer?
No, but
Oh.
I was able to glean that info from your mind when I learned this language. So I understand idioms.
Hey, why did the necromancer chicken cross the road?
To get to the other side, I'm in your brain. I consumed parts of it. I get it.
It's all. Yep. Yeah, we're good friends. Let's go. Let's go, everyone. Let's go. I've talked to the guy that I don't have. Let's go.
Oh, right. Pardon me, just one moment. And she's gonna just like take a step back.
Okay. Is everybody else going with Fish?
Metal's gonna
Yeah.
go up behind Fish and like wants to like touch them or like hold their hand or something. She's not going to. She's just kind of like gonna be like close.
Got it.
Isle's pacing
maybe
around
it'll go.
Fish like a guard dog.
Yeah.
Like, she does not know what to do. She cannot say so. She wants that thing out.
As you all walk away and leave Cal a private moment, as you get close to the hallway, Jonas prompts in your mind. And Patrick said he wasn't hot. I actually chose to go change my reference image because you were all like, "Oh, skeleton is so hot," and I was like, "You want a hot little demon guy? You're gonna get a hot little demon guy." So yes.
Thank you. Provide for your players.
Yeah.
As you get close to the hallway, Jonas prompts you in the back of your mind. Remember, there's a trap at the end of the hallway there. I think you can disable it this way.
All right, I'll do that. I
Um,
love being useful. You're great. Fuck, why didn't I get possessed sooner?
Thank you. Always try to be useful. That's why I was made. As Caligulus goes into her little corner out of eye and earshot of the others, you call Tinnitus.
Yep. Fucking Christ. Okay.
The call goes through, and you actually, since Goph worked on it, the connection is actually clearer. It actually sounds like you're talking to him in front of you instead of like kind of through a device. So the quality's a lot better. But you hear, Sister Denier. Hello?
Hello, Brother Tinnitus.
I have not been made privy to your current mission or line of investigation, but I understand you're traveling. Safe
Yes.
travel, sister.
Thank you. I did not think this would be a relevant mission to us. But I have a specimen I may want to get to you. Something
Living or
older.
dead?
Dead.
Hmm.
Something older than anything I've ever experienced. Something from
Another world? Question mark, Patrick?
Not even similar to anything you have any experience with.
Yeah.
It's entirely possible, just like with your passive arcana checks. I'm not going to tell you what it is because you didn't roll high enough for any of these, but just with the passive information, you're like, this is some extraplanar being. It's from another world. It's from another dimension. This could be like one of the gods. You know, this could be like
Yep.
what you know, whatever, one of the like Kothak or whatever look like in their physical bodies or things like that, or Vidu Day or whatever. This could be like something.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So she
this
says-
may not be something endemic to Earth, and if it is long extinct.
something otherworldly, something on par with the Time of the Faceless One. I don't have access to a soul catcher. How else would I get it to you? The temple. Or pagan.
Well, loath as I am to admit it, Sister Pagan does have the resources at her home temple to create a temporary soul catcher of a necessary size. I also believe you said this is a physical specimen. We could arrange for transportation of some kind, remove this body.
It's a possession at this point.
Oh, interesting.
The
And
area we are in. Sorry.
I only mean to ask, who is it possessing currently?
Are you familiar with the names of my fellow investigators?
I am.
Fish, the I suppose Neoteric.
Well, Is this fish important to you? Is their well-being a matter of concern? I only mention because, as you know, with smaller order possessions, a soul catcher is sufficient, provided they can be forced out by other means. Um, if this is something old, perhaps powerful,
Hmm.
I suspect it will take Fish's soul with it when it
Hmm.
leaves. Don't like to leave
And
easily.
will it do that regardless of being pulled by a soul catcher or anything else?
I would have to confer with our brothers and sisters, and of course it's difficult without any information. I haven't examined this thing
Mm.
myself,
Mm.
but I will warn you that there is a very real chance of fish's soul being sundered completely and unrecoverable.
I
Not just
understand.
not just in death, but destroyed.
Right. So you said a soul catcher. Is there anything else? Anything? I know. Did pagan strike you as particularly conventional?
Pagan is conventional in some ways and unconventional in others. Um, Unconventional is like a little bit of a kind of grudging slur in a way of it's like
Yeah.
unconventional lets you do some fun stuff, but also unconventional.
I have to stop looking at your all fucking faces. I'm doing a serious scene. Anyways,
She says, I spoke to Inharkin. Of course, we know well, and I've known practically my whole life. He said that she has a collection of unorthodox things bordering on heretical. If she had a soul knife, would that be any more beneficial than a soul catcher?
A soul knife.
That's what I heard.
That is such a strange thing to bring up. Soul knife. That would be dangerous. Hmm. He's going to give you an insight check just because that's such a specific thing to ask
I
about.
know.
Go ahead and roll me. I'd say it's persuasion or deception, to be honest.
I think they'll do the same, and I feel like it's more of a deception. Just blandly lying, and I thought I should change my stats so my deception goes up, and I'll do that. Okay, not great.
Well, he got a 15.
I got a 13.
Okay. He I think he interprets, with that not being a huge difference, I think he doesn't necessarily interpret this as I have a soul knife. He interprets this as like I know something specific about a soul knife or its location, and I am
The
worried,
location of my pocket.
and I am worried that pagan, and maybe pagans or pagan has access to it or something like that. Um, he says, speaking entirely theoretically,
Or
I do believe that a soul knife could be used to cut Fish's living soul from their body and thus displace this entity. If we wish to keep and question it, we would need some sort of receptacle, something like a soul catcher, but perhaps reinforced in some way.
understood.
We perhaps could separate Fish's soul from this creature. and maybe replace that soul. But of course, this is entirely hypothetical, as soul knives are some of the most hereditary workings. So tell me, sister, do you know of the location of a soul knife?
Would you be able to access it if I did? You know I would not get that in the hands of somebody who would do wrong with it.
Its existence is also a wrong.
I agree.
If you get it into our hands, I will see it safely destroyed.
Yes. And I will, and in exchange for using it, hypothetically, in the meanwhile, you will also get an incredible soul to examine, keep in our temple of renowned. People will come visit it, want to study it. We will rock it in reputation.
Give me a persuasion check, because you are really asking him to do something that goes against, like, kind of every bone in his
Yeah?
body.
What are you gonna do, bitch? You're in France!
I think you can tell there's a little bit of an implication here of, if this is serious enough, I'm not going to stay in France and let you deal with
Cool.
this.
I'm gonna commit to this and not lie as desperately as I want to. That was a nat 1. Well, it's fine. This temple sucks. You gotta go anyway.
Sister, you are speaking of potentially destroying a living soul against all of the teachings of our order. You try to tempt me with praise, with respect. No, that is not how we do things. We do things honestly, faithfully. Bring the soul knife to me, and I will have it destroyed. Do not do so, and I will label you a heretic. You're muted.
What is your expected deadline for that?
It is a dangerous item. As soon as possible, I think.
I am in North America. You're in Europe. How do I get it to you imminently? The teleporters can't even access this ruin.
That is interesting. Well, I will trust that it will remain unused until it is put into my possession.
I can
And-
destroy it.
Can you?
Are you doubting my ability?
Merely the tools you have at your disposal.
I don't think there's anyone who's ever come through our temple who is better at researching and coming up with solutions than I am.
Then by all means, try, sister. Please, rid us of this heresy. And I will forget about your recommendation.
I'm sure you will. Anything else?
No. No, I think not.
Thank you for the advice.
Ends the call even before you respond.
Cal drops to the ground. Tears. Just sits there, like, on her knees and just, like, lock it on the ground, just cries a bit.
Where's the rest of the party? Are we in the same room? Like, can we hear her, like, sobs echoing down the hall?
The rest of the party, as Cal is having this conversation and then quietly crying to herself, you also hear in the in the background. Fish being like, yeah, he says just to like chuck a rock at it at that part. Sinner's like, all right, everybody behind the wall. Holy shit. Okay, is there anything else? Is that was just the trap? Okay. God. I guess onward.
Y'all, fuck y'all. The exception being Patrick, who didn't fucking do it at all.
Listen, we're trying to survive over here.
Mooney, you are brilliant.
Yes,
Patrick, you're
thank
also
you.
brilliant.
you
Yes.
both are amazing. I loved what was happening.
100%.
It's just that separately, Ink was being so funny.
I did genuinely have to stop reading the chat.
No, me too. I was like,
to
nope.
be in the zone.
God, everything's fine.
Right, so everybody's walking, Cal's crying on the floor.
I do think, like, I don't know,
I think
depending on what everyone's doing.
I think Metal and perhaps May would notice that Cal
Yes.
isn't joining
Oh,
you
yeah.
after a little while. But
Yeah,
at least
yeah.
in that call and that part, you were alone.
Metal is like still like close to Fish and like just kind of has like an anxious hand out, like, oh no, like what if are they gonna fall, like God forbid something happens to them, and is just kind of like holding out for them, and then after a bit she's like, where'd she go? We lost one. And she'll just be like, hold on guys, and then Collisionist hasn't come back yet, so just stay right here for a second. I'm gonna go find her, and it's gonna go.
Oh, you're going to find Denia?
Yes.
Well, you know who is perfect for this opportunity?
And toss.
I am ready for my mission.
Hey, pal. Tell her thank you for, healing me. And that I'm sorry that I was mean to her about the slugs yesterday.
Okay. Dad,
Yeah.
you're not gonna have bad things and then you're gonna explode with like black fire and scary stuff if I leave you, are you?
I love you.
I love you too. That's not an answer.
Yes, it is.
No.
Metal's like, come on, Kekino, let's go.
Okay.
Just stay, everybody just stay right here. I'm just gonna go grab her.
Does everybody stay right there?
Please.
Yeah.
All right. You're in this sort of short connecting hallway between the first room you came into and this larger kind of lab. There is a door at the end that is closed, but you can't see anything like sealed about it or anything like that. You could probably open it. But yeah, that's what you see. Doesn't seem to be any traps or anything like that. As Metal heads back to Cal. And
My buddy.
as you get close, Kekino jumps down and slides over to Cal, who is crying, and just kind of like forces himself into her lap and just kind of up into her face. It's okay, Cal. It's okay, Collisionist.
I think
I was scared too, but everything's gonna be okay. Dad says that they're sorry for joking about the slugs and to say thank you because you did really good and you healed them and that was very nice and I like that too.
Still just kind of like crying too much to answer, but like obviously trying to get to the point that she can speak.
Metal's gonna like just like come running up and is like, oh my god, are you okay? And just like kneel down in front of her. Did something happen?
Give me. I'm sorry. I'll be up in a moment. I promise. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
We don't have a lot of time. Just give me a moment. Just like
Hey,
holds
Collisionist,
Kekino.
you can take time. You can
We
take
don't
whatever you-
have time.
Yes,
I-
there's always time for clams. There's
Kakano,
always time for clams.
I think you're being misled. I don't think you know the dirtiness of the situation.
Okay. So tell me so I can help.
There's nothing you can do. You just have to hope. And
You don't know that. I'm smart and I'm a good Kakano.
very good. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I promise I'll be alright in a moment.
Okay.
And she just like sucks in a huge breath. I feel like that fucking veil is even damp at this point, and like just stands. Doesn't like talk anymore. Just like stands.
I
and
think-
just is like
As she goes to stand up, Metal's gonna grab, like, slowly but hopefully firmly grab her hands to help her up.
I can't guarantee a fix for this situation, and in trying to look for one, I've made everything infinitely worse. You both will have to forgive me if they die.
I don't.
No one's gonna die because Dad said they're not gonna die.
Well, that was a lie.
I don't really.
Metal, did Dad lie?
I'm gonna be honest. I don't really fully understand what's going on. I know it's not good. I'm freaking out. Everyone's freaking out, but we have to stay
We
strong.
have to push. We push forward.
We have to.
Nope.
We have to stay
Clams.
together.
Think of clams. Everything's gonna be okay. Oh,
Exactly.
No. Oh, no.
Exactly.
You get a fish gets a psychic message from Kakano going, "Did you lie? Is everyone gonna
Hold on,
survive?"
no. Everyone it's gonna be okay. We just have to if we just stay strong and stay together, and we have to just hope that everything's gonna be fine. I'm sure there's something else later that will help us, because this is not how this is gonna go. So let's just go back with everyone and we'll figure it out.
Right.
Okay.
And then she's just gonna start walking.
Metal's gonna like trot after her.
And I'm sorry, I'm not trying. I feel like I have like completely grabbed this for the drama lens, so I'm like, we're moving past. We're going forward. I know we have to wrap.
I'm
There's
just
there's
emo.
girl time
I'm
later.
just worried. I'm worried about everybody. Oh,
It's gonna
It's
be
fine.
okay.
Elise probably
it's
has a
not.
spare
We're in
room.
the cavern.
There's no.
I'm
has
in the
spare rooms.
hole.
We could all live in her house in Omaha.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the chasm is Elise's house. Everything is fine.
It's Elise's house and a Catholic priest who specializes in exorcisms.
Everything's good. We're
And that's
good.
also where the books of Fish's memories went. They're also
Yeah.
down.
Yeah, we'll grab them. We'll grab them. So everything's fine. And Metal's just like anxiously trotting after Collisionist and is really just just holding her hands close to her chest.
You all reconvene.
I think, actually, I will say that Cal probably is holding like Kakano and like holding Kakano by the flipper, and she doesn't say anything, but she lets her hand trail behind her when she's walking in front of Metal.
I'm gonna die. Metal grabs her hand and she's like, finally, I really wanted to like hold on to somebody. Yeah. Delightful.
Kakano still looks anxious, but he seems to be calming down a little bit. And as you reconvene, rejoin everyone, Kakano instantly goes, "Dad, you didn't answer. Is everyone going to be safe?" Dad.
Yeah.
Dad.
Yeah.
Please tell me people are going to be safe.
As long as there is strength in my body and love in my heart, and there is currently, and I'd love you, and I meant what I said, and I'll never leave you.
I know, Dad.
Guys, you got nothing to worry about. Dad is super strong, and Dad says that as long as they've got strength, then everything's gonna be okay. So I think we're good. I think we just need to relax.
Patrick,
Mhm,
you
mhm.
can let me know if this is too much, or like if you need an interview on this. But I would say when they walk back in, Sinner and May probably go, "Oh, there's the cleric. Cool, good. I was worried about where she went." And then Fish and I will see her holding Metal's hand, and we're probably something is horribly wrong.
Yeah.
Literally.
Kekino
Metal
only
didn't even
sees the hand holding as a positive development.
Yeah.
Metal didn't acknowledge it at all. Because she knew that Cal wouldn't like that, so she's just like, I'm fine.
Hey, Isle.
Yeah.
You still up for Hawaii when this is all over?
I don't know. Is Jonas coming with?
Hopefully he will be gone by then. You know, three's a
So
crowd.
here.
Three's
I
a
also-
crowd.
Lyle, I know you
wait.
said that threesomes were off the table, but if it's in the same person,
But if it's I'm sorry. One Kyle says, "You know what? Yeah, fuck this shit. Let's go to Hawaii."
Yeah, everybody can go to Hawaii.
Can I also come?
Yeah.
Is this an open invitation to Hawaii?
Fuck it, we're all going. May,
We're all
you wanna go?
Sinner, no.
No.
Yeah, I just looks at Center, moves to May. May, you're going?
Listen, Isle, the plan is this. We get Jonas a body that's not mine. And we get the bomb back. Remember that? Remember when that was the thing?
Remember when that was our mission? Sorry.
And we can go to Hawaii when world peace has been achieved.
I also we're getting that fucking thing out of you.
Yeah. Yeah.
sounds like a good plan to me too.
I hate this.
May is like, I'm sorry, bomb? Unless you want to say you were being quiet.
No.
No. I deliberately said that just so
Turn
May
that
could.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's the cliffhanger.
God.
Just kidding.
It's up to you. I think
It
that's
could
that's
be.
kind of a natural
I think that's
place to
good. I
end
think
the
it's
session.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we close
Holy
on
shit.
today's session. The group having reconvened in this hallway. Looks like only one way forward, or maybe back to camp to make sure Kitsune hasn't burned down the place in the meantime.
You can do
Everybody
that, it's fine.
is
It's
very
fine.
shaken and stressed. I did want to give you enough time that you could take long rests. It just will, kind of burn up some of your time. A long rest will cost you four maximum hit points.
Fish is gonna get cooked.
So, yeah, that's kind of up to you. That's that.
Maniacal
And
laughter.
with that, I think we will close our session on Jonas.
Holy
Bruh.
shit.
Bruh.
Technically, I'm homeless.
So yeah, I wasn't sure you guys would go for it. Would go for Jonas, but a lot of pros and cons with this one. Obviously,
When Fish dies,
What are
can
the
I just play
pros?
as him?
Oh my
You are
God.
Jonas? Oh my
Thank you.
god. No, they're gonna be okay. Everything's fine.
everything
thing is.
There
Sounds
has
like
to
the
be an
dry
out.
meadow of Ireland, dead fish.
I
Oh,
claimed this first, motherfucker!
Yeah,
Those bones are mine!
these are my bones.